Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Montaldo. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. I mean, it's gorgeous all across the United States for the most part. Nice, sunny, clear, not much rain, cool temperatures. Great day for All Hallows Eve, especially down here in New Orleans, where people get weird and strange. For all my friends who'll be hanging out in the dungeon tonight, two thumbs up. I know what it's like to be in a dungeon on All Hallows Eve. It is fabulous. For all of our friends out on patios tonight, oh my God, y'all be careful. The place gets packed. Don't throw anybody into the fountain in the fire pit. It's a beautiful thing, but don't toss anybody in there. But I know there's gonna be a lot of people down in the quarter tonight, and there's gonna be a lot of kids out trick or treating tomorrow night. So y'all be safe, have fun. It's a great city when you enjoy it for what it is. And for all my friends on the Gulf Coast, I know where most of y'all going to be inside the casinos. You can go trick or treating in the casinos now. They set up the parking lot so the kids can come trick or treating for a safe place to trick or treat. Very, very, very strange thing. Even two of the casinos down here even have playroom, so you can bring your kid and put them in a playroom while you're gambling. Good idea. They make a lot of money, and it's like $10 an hour. Keep your kid there. They get all kind of arcade games in there and stuff. Casino, shame on you. You're getting a kid addicted to the casino before he's even legal age to go in a damn thing. But anyway, everybody be safe and have a lot of fun and all around the country, because I know a lot of people are going to take advantage of this weather and get out and about. So as far as social distance, and obey whatever state you live in. That's the best thing I can tell you. I'm in Mississippi today, so there is no anything. There's no rules about anything. We can do whatever the hell we want. Louisiana lifted all of its mandates yesterday, so all y'all can. In Florida seems to be happy too. So Alabama, I don't know what the hell's going on. Y'all just a strange group of people. But anyway, along the Gulf Coast, have fun, get out and trick or treat. On the West Coast, I hear it's great. I mean, y'all are y'all still on the restrictions? Y'all still on a mask mandate, right? But nothing else, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Out there. And then, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to John and Emily Goodwin, just in case you don't know hell the show is about tonight. We're actually going to be talking about what went on last week. Actually, well, it's going on 2 weeks now, but for the Rise of the Future event, it was great. The L. Ron Hubbard event. It was all I can say, y'all, is it was great. I mean, I know a lot of people in hearing me talking about it. One of my co-hosts, and they said, Joe, we're doing a show tonight, right? It's not about Rise of the Future. I said,
Oh,
yeah. I'm like, yes, it is. Shut up. It's about, that's what it's about. But anyway, I have John and Emily Goodwin tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of the events that went on. I got to tell you guys, these two worked their butts off. It was nonstop. I never seen either one of them stop. I was doing interviews, and every time I see one of them zip by me, going some direction.
it's
And actually,
true.
we didn't see Emily till late. She was setting up the event, which was a fabulous event, by the way. For anybody who didn't see it, it is available on YouTube. You can go over to Writers of the Future. It's not on any of our
Yeah.
YouTube pages yet. We're going to leave it off for a while. We want to see. We're going to try to drive some traffic over there. So everybody go over there to the Writers of the Future. Just tune in, hang out, and know before anybody asks, this isn't the gray zone. Michelle and I are off until next week. Yes, I seen that little comment pop up. Yeah, no, we're off until next week. So we took about 3 weeks off because we've both been busy schedules. But this was a crazy event. So I mean, we'll start with Emily because I know she's the one who put the event together. I mean, no, wait, it's not fair to John, but Emily. So what the hell? Do you just like a month out say, okay, I'm ready. I got my energy together, and then as soon as they let you go, so you're like a tiger in a cage when they let your ass loose. It's nonstop till they put you back in a cage. Huh? I mean, y'all should have seen this woman. This woman was like, I'm not kidding y'all. I seen her go by every once in a while. It was like a blur. I got two pictures of her sitting down in a chair because that's the first time I've seen her sit down long enough to get a picture of her. And by the way, you look fabulous at the event, both of y'all did. So
Thank
what's up?
you.
How do you get? I mean, how do you get physically and mentally pumped up for this? Because I know it's a job. I've seen it.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's our favorite time of the year. I mean, it's such a fabulous week. So it's a lot of work, but it's amazing because there's just so much energy with everybody there. We have all the winners and all the judges that fly in from all over the world. And it's just they do a week-long workshop. And as you saw, there was a lot of events throughout the week. There's the big art reveal, and then there's the welcoming barbecue, and there was a presentation that we did special for the judges, and there was the book release event, and then of course the big awards gala. But we set the date about a year in advance, so there's a lot of work that happens to prepare for it. We consider that an event is 80% preps and 20% execution. So there's a lot of preps that go into getting ready for the event itself. So the more we do ahead of time before everybody arrives to LA, the smoother it goes once everyone gets there. It's still a lot of work, but we do a lot of preps for it.
All right, my burglar alarm just went off. Yeah, it's called a chihuahua.
Uh-oh.
She's hot because Daddy took her. They're both mad at me because they had to go get shots this morning.
Oh.
They're furious at their daddy. But anyway, enough about them. So no, I mean I seen you go. So this year's going to be shorter though, right? You're going to have less time to get your brain together and ready to go. I hear it's in the spring this year. I don't want to give away no dates. But
Yeah.
We're pulling it back. We're pulling back forward to April 8th. That's where we have been doing it, but we had to put it in 2020. We obviously had to cancel because of COVID, and then this year, it took, when was a good guesstimate to be able to schedule it for. So we probably March or February, we said, okay, we surveyed all the judges, what would actually work for them. And then we agreed upon October 22nd as the date, because it wasn't conflicting with other conventions they had obligations to. So that's how we did it. But we normally have it in April. The contest itself runs, it's a yearly competition, and it runs until the end of September. September 30th is the end of each contest year. So this year's event, October 22nd, actually took place after we finished the competition for year 38. We're in year 39 now.
Yeah.
So we want to pull it back forward again so that we're not done with the following year by the time we do the release event.
Yeah, so that makes sense to get caught back up. It's kind of strange how that has to happen. Yes, people, don't forget there was COVID for 2 years, so that's how things work around here. I got to say too,
COVID did add a lot more. COVID did add a lot more of lot more things to deal with, to be able to put on the event, making sure that people are going to be safe. Because the whole thing on it is that a lot of our judges are older, and they're older, and we want to be able to protect them. They're like, Larry Niven. He's like revered everywhere he goes as an author, but he's up there in years, so we want to make sure it was safe for him.
Yes, I think he thought I was an alien. I really did. I think he thought I was an alien. He was a strange guy. I really liked him, but he looked at me one day like, he's like, get back. Yeah. But I can't believe he didn't know who the hell I was, and I'm some guy running around like a chicken with his head cut off. No, actually, I think it's great y'all getting it back in April, and I can't say anything but positive things. I got to shut up because everybody thinks I'm just they think I've lost my mind. But it was funny. Because last night we talked about it a little bit in the middle of the show. Mike's like, "Oh, I want you to show your picture of your face." I said, "Get out of here!" He said, "Well," "Why do you like these people so much?" I said, "Tell you what, fly your ass out there next year and you'll find out." I said because these are the first two people, and I hate to say it like this, makes me sound jaded, that I've actually when I went to go see for myself, it was actually exactly what I was told it was. Exactly what I was told it was.
Yeah.
For the most part, that just doesn't happen. I get invited to speak at a lot of places. I get invited to go a lot of places and review things. And some of them are close, but there's always some catch 22 or catch 33 or catch 44 or something. There was none of that. I mean, it was fabulous. I mean, I wasn't there for 1 and 2, but these kids, and I shouldn't say kids because it was all age. I keep saying that when, it wasn't just kids. I mean, we had from top of the age group to the bottom of the age group, and they were fabulous. I mean, they loved it. They were high energy. All of them, whatever age you were, they were high energy. All of them said the same thing. They're working the hell out, but that was the whole point of being there, so you could actually learn. And everybody talked about how approachable everybody was, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's absolutely true. It didn't matter who it was. All the judges seemed to be very approachable. And actually, not only did they seem to be approachable, but they seemed to enjoy what they were doing. That's another thing you don't ever see. Usually you attend things like this and the judges like they're being forced. You got a cattle prod behind them or something. None of that was going on. And the best part was, ladies and gentlemen, I was just out there as press, so they didn't know who I was for being. And I approached every one of them. They talked to me without any problems. A lot of people at that time, I still had a lot of more interviews to do, but it was a fabulous event to attend. And I liked the energy. It was very high energy. Everybody seemed to be having a good time. And everybody seemed even I learned stuff. Hell, I sat through DeSantis's art class and learned all kinds of stuff about shouting I had no idea about.
Dan DeSantis is amazing.
Oh,
He's
he is.
Brilliant artist.
So I was actually surprised. And then I sat through two of the sat with was it Dean and Todd, and I forgot the other one, but I learned actually something from both of them. So all three of them, I should say.
They argue with each other too.
Yes, it was great.
Like, this is the way you do it. It's like Dean says this I'm publishing, and Todd says that I'm publishing. And they're both right. It's like, what do you want to be able to do?
And they were the way they did it on the stage was very. So Dean says, I'm not going to agree with what you just said. He let him finish though, and then he just explained what he was talking about. And both of them were right. You could do it either way. It's just it was more of a
Yeah.
choice for the individuals, but it was nice to have the choice. And I'm telling you, Dean
Yeah.
and I got into a 2.5 hour conversation at the pool about finances with like I don't know, it was at least 8 or 9. Well, it was probably about an hour, but it was at least 8 or 10 of them hanging around. Because I forgot who it was that asked who one of them asked about it, and then it just went on from there. But it was nice he took the time to explain it to him because it's something you got to know. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're starting to make money, you got to know what to do with it, or where to keep it, or what's the most plausible things for you to do. And I told him, I said, I own two businesses. I said, I'll walk you through how I started. I said, I'm in a C corp now. I said, but that's not where I started out. I said, I explained to him how I got to where I was, but I think they actually enjoyed the conversation. For most people, that would have been a boring conversation unless you're trying to get it in the world now. So I see. So no favorite judges. I can't ask you who your favorite judges are because that'll get you in trouble.
No, that's like asking me about a favorite child.
I know. I know who.
We have some judges been around for a long time, like Kevin. He's been a judge for 36 years, and we actually gave all the judges pins. We made these really nice pins of
Oh, I
the
seen
writer
that.
feature judge and illustrator feature judge, and the ones over 25 years had a special sapphire.
Yeah,
Special sapphire in there to show that they were over 25 years. So for that, you had like Kevin Anderson, I said Larry Niven,
Tim Powers.
And for people who don't know, like Tim Powers is the author that wrote On Stranger Tides, which was made into the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Larry Niven is the one that's known for it's called the Known Universe, and it's got several novels in that genre. He's very, very famous as a science fiction author. There's Rob Sawyer, who's one of the judges. He's not 25 years, but he's like the dean of science fiction in Canada. He wrote this one book called Flash Forward, which ABC made in a TV series a few years ago.
Orson Scott
Card, right? He wasn't there, but he's been there quite several times, and he's the one that wrote Ender's Game. So we have all those types of judges that are there, and the reason why I like them all is because they lend their name, they give their support to help these aspiring writers, and so once a writer wins the contest, they're invited into the fold. They're part of the family, and the judges all consider it family. They absolutely consider writers the future family, and they love coming out for that because now after nearly 4 decades, winners of the contest, some have been, you heard from the stage, some of these people have been going it for like 15, 20, 25 times that they've been entering the contest for 1 or 2 decades. And so it's a big lifetime goal they've had as a writer. And so to make that target, make that accomplishment, really gives them a good start as an author in the publishing industry. And that's why the judges are so keen on it, because like what you've observed yourself, there's no strings attached. It's just straight. It's blind judging, which they really like because there's nobody else does that. It's free to enter. It's equal playing field for wherever you are in the world. I mean, you have to enter the contest in English, but we've had winners from all over. The art contest makes it even easier because there you don't even have to speak English to enter the contest. You just need to have great illustrated art.
I can't wait to interview the winner in Australia. He's extremely high energy.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a hoot. Yeah, he's gonna be a good. Totally. But you know what? I was reviewing some because I got to go fix some name stuff on some of the videos I loaded up. But I was going through some of the videos. They all seem to be decently confident for being where they are. I meet a lot of writers, and even artists I meet sometimes are very inverted, I should say. And it's strange, but I don't think this group is going to be that way. I think the majority of them, there's 1 or 2 of them there that might be, but for the most part, I think the majority of them are going to be outgoing and trying to achieve something. So, and
yeah.
They were in an environment too where there was like it was a safe space, so they were able to be there. The judges, the fellow winners, obviously everybody on the staff. We just try to make a very safe space for them to come there to meet. Because also we've been cooped up for 1.5 years, 2 years, so wanting to make it so it's a really good moment for them to be able to come in and to meet other writers, other artists, meet the judges. Some of these people are their heroes, so they're very intimidated to go up and see, like you might mention like, Kevin Anderson talking to him or Dean Wesley Smith, but these guys are multiple New York Times bestselling authors. So for an aspiring author, these are like deity.
Oh,
So
I
it's,
know.
it's a it's a bit of a deal for that icebreaker to get in there, and that's why we do that barbecue that you came to. That when you arrived that day, you came for the barbecue.
Mhm.
That's why it's such an important event, because that's when the winners are able to meet the judges, and it's a definite ice breaking experience that's needed.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And it definitely works too, because I've seen several groups hanging around with judges.
Yeah,
Poor Echo. She's always got like a, a group following her around.
Trail,
Oh,
trail
yeah,
following.
it's funny as hell, but but she's a well liked judge, and at least three of the winners told me she's not easy on their butts,
Yeah.
and so that's a plus. I mean, she's still liked and she's tough. So that's a hard combination to get. So, but she seems to like what she does. So that was a good thing. We talked quite a bit, and her and I and Tom talked quite a bit because we were hanging out together a lot. But they're very interesting people. It is such a great thing for these youngins, or I shouldn't say youngins, but these winners to be able to go up and meet these judges, because you could see in a lot of their eyes they were kind of intimidated by some of them. And I forgot who I was talking to. One of the girls said, "God, I'm sorry." I said, "Just walk up and say hi." She said, "I said, come here, walk up with me." I said, "Hey, hello, I'm Joe." And I introduced her, and I just walked off. Took off.
Oh,
Well, I mean, because I didn't have nothing to say in that conversation. So, but she was happy after that. And she later on she called out when she said, "Oh, thank you for doing that." I said,
nice.
I said, "These people are here to talk to you," and I said, "They want to talk to y'all." I said, "They're looking for the next illustrators and writers for the future." I said, "They're looking." I said, "They want to know who y'all are, man. I mean, they want to
Yeah.
be able to read your stuff, and I mean, they know what's going on here." I said, "Everybody starts at the bottom, and I said, there's nobody here that didn't start at the bottom to get to where they are today." I
Right.
said,
right.
I said, and I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. I said, sometimes, but I said, some of y'all might get lucky and it might be easy, but a lot of y'all, it's going to take a lot of work. And they seem to be there. I mean, I know they were pumped up for the event, but they seem to be there. They really want to do something. And there was a couple
Yeah.
I was taking with. There was 4 or 5 of them. I'm not going to mention the names on the X, not fair to everybody else, but and it was 4 or 5 that I was taking. Well, I predicted 2 of the winners. I didn't know the Australian guy because I hadn't seen, but I'm doing the interviews. I actually predicted 2 of the winners. So I just had a feeling. It's weird after I talk to somebody. Sometimes I can see where they are. And what was funny to me is how many I'm saying, "You made me a nervous wreck," until I sat down. I'm like, "Really?" I said, "I made you nervous." I said, "I can see you nervous with some of these judges." And I said, "I'm just pressed, but you should never be nervous with me." I said, and then I told him, and Leah got me. She pulled it. I said, when an author, I said, when you, I said, an author said, I said, when a host tells you they read your book, ask them a question about your book. So later on, she asked me, I said, "Oh yeah, I seen it." The guy was, I was lying. And later on, she asked me, I said, "You see, I see that puts the host on his back foot. That gives you more control of the interview." And there was a couple of them I got in kind of deep with stuff like, the DC world, the Marvel world, how you going to form your characters in a new world today, because it involves more than it used to be in the old days. I mean, there's more character development. There's more ways you can take a character these days. And they seem to handle the conversation. What impressed me is they stood up for themselves. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never put my real views up, but I always will say whatever. I'll always take an opposing view to get somebody to talk, and they stood up for themselves, and I was impressed by that. Because if you can stand up in the press and hold your own, you're going to do okay in this. Because press is going to be half of anything you do. I mean, you can write a great book, but if you're not out there publishing or talking to people about it, eventually it's just going to go, because
That's it.
people want to see you. They want to know. They want to know who you are. I hate to say it this way, they want to touch you, but touch you meaning touching your book, ladies and gentlemen, before anybody starts writing to me. I wasn't quite impressed with the whole event. And, I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday because we were talking about books for New Orleans. And I said, "Man," I said, "y'all should," I said, "look, the event's online. You should go check it out and watch it." I said, "And see these people who they had up there." I said, "These are the writers of the future, man." I said, "Pay attention to what's going on." Because a friend of mine is friends with the guy who's bringing his gaming group down here. And that's why I brought that up to when I was talking. I said, "Look, guys," I said, story writers and illustrators are still needed for gaming. There's big money in that. So the guy who wrote World of Warcraft is bringing his gaming company down here. He's hiring 75 people at 100 to 200,000 a person. It's not a bad place to start if you're an artist or a story writer. It's good money for anybody, and
yeah,
he likes hiring young people who are going to stay with his company a long time. So it's good for a lot of young. But right now there's 6 gaming companies in New Orleans, in the Silicon Bayou now. So they're looking for people to come in who's going to write stories, have imaginative ideas, do good illustrations, so that the programs can sit there and put it all into code. So it's interesting, and a lot of them, a lot of the artists I was talking to were into digital art, so that's right up their alley for something like that. That's excellent money for somebody like that. But you know what? Most of them told me they wanted to be freelance, and 4 of them told me they wanted to be children's authors. Now, out of those 3,
Interesting.
yeah, out of the 4, 3 actually were illustrators who told me that. Only one, I think it was Barbara, who said she might like to do kids' books from time to time. But oh wait, no, I might be
Yeah.
getting back. But anyway, it was 3 illustrators and 1 author who told me they want to do kids' books, and I was just kind of a little bit taken back because writing a kids' book, I'm sure it's easy, but it's more complicated because you got to be way more strict on how you're writing stuff. These
Yeah, for
days,
sure.
you even put an in for anything in these days, and you're going to be all kind of trouble. But it kind of
Yeah.
caught me off guard. But I think they were all girls actually. Yeah, I think they were. I don't think any of the guys said that, so that's weird too. I didn't realize that till just now, but I had a great time interviewing them. One thing you'll notice in all the interviews that are posted, I think there's 17 or 18 posted right now. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's got a smile on their face from ear to ear. And when I ask them about Galaxy Press or Author Service or just in general how you've been treated here, everybody said the same thing. Oh my God, they are great. And several said, I know I've been driving people like Joni crazy and other people crazy asking for this. And I said, well, she seems to be pretty even. She said, oh, Joe, I can be a pain in the ass. I said, well, you're here, you're a little nervous, you got to ask a lot of questions, I'm sure. So, but they were most appreciative. And it's another thing in today's world I'm surprised by. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I hate to say I'm jaded again, but sometimes, I meet a lot of people who are just, even winners that seem to be, how can I say this? Cranky. I guess we'll use cranky so I don't get in trouble. But I guess with the COVID stuff and everything, it was nice to see a bunch of happy people enjoying themselves and learning as they were enjoying. And everybody I asked, have you learned anything while they were here? And they were like, oh my God, yes. That was pretty much the
Well,
answer.
that's good. That's the point. We hope that
Yeah.
they're learning something while they're there. I mean, that's why we bring them out. They're getting a whole week-long workshop from people that have actually made it in the field and that know what they're doing, because they're either on the writer's side, they're best-selling authors. On the illustrator side, they're making a living with their art and illustration. And that's how, when L. Ron Hubbard originally started the contest, it was a pay it forward. It was to, give that helping hand. Like it's to take an amateur and put them in a position where they can become a professional, and to make it a level playing field, because these people, they're from all over the place. They come from some little town somewhere, and some come from big towns, some come from little towns, but they may not, it's somewhere where they get a chance for their voice to be heard.
One thing was fun what you met is you met a couple of the winners. N. Lee, the grand prize winner for the illustrator contest. You want to hand me the book there? What we've got here is with this competition, we've got illustrators from all over the world, and he was in the other book, volume 36.
Yeah, he's from
Vietnam, and we had another winner from Turkey who's now going to school at USC. So she's actually over in the United States now from Turkey, so she was able to attend. But we also had a winner from
the UK.
Yeah, from UK. We had another winner from
5 countries, 6 countries, I think.
Yeah, and from the South Africa.
Yeah.
Iran, India,
Portugal. Yeah, India and Iran
can't
twice.
Forget Australia. Yeah,
Australia for sure. Grand prize winner from Australia.
So we have winners from all over the world that are able to come there. But you'll see, this isn't all the different. This is the book that just released, and it's the L100 Presents Writers of the Future. This is volume 37, and it's just hitting bookstores now. So definitely urging people to get this. I'm the publisher, so this is a big thing. We do a lot of things, but we want to make sure that these winners have a national bestseller. This is trippy looking at this thing because I've got green screen behind it.
No.
So it looks. We'll show you what's the Writers of the Future Lounge.
Well, guys, it's the banner for this show tonight, so y'all see it as the banner. So and it's up, and it's also up on different places y'all can find it. And I will be giving some of these.
Anyway,
books
the book
away
is now in Books A Million. Yeah, so
That's right.
Books a Million, Barnes and Noble up in Canada. It's in Indigo, as well as independents all over the place. It's also arriving shortly into South Africa, into Australia, into UK. The books are shipping, so they'll be there, in a bit. But they're right now in the United States and Canada to be able to get.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we're definitely want to get people to know about this so that they can actually get it. And we also, Joe, just so you know, is next week on the 10th and the 11th, we're doing. Emily's right now working with Jason on a 30-minute edit of the release event.
Some highlights from the event itself.
And so we're going to have that recording event. Yes.
Yes, send it
So
over.
we'll be doing that as well.
Yeah, sure. We'll send it over.
Yeah,
But
because
anyway,
right
so
now,
this is what we're excited about here.
again, ladies and gentlemen, go to writersofthefuture.com on YouTube if you want to watch the event. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Chris, eventually we will put it on our sites, but not right now. It's gonna be a couple of months before we do. I'm just trying to drive traffic over there. Like us, we're all trying to build sites so people know where everybody's at, so you know where this event is next year and how to look for it. Because by the way, ladies and gentlemen, there are previous events you can watch. I actually watched 17 and 19 the other day. So y'all can go check them out. But you're looking for 2021 to this year. That's the one we're talking about tonight. So be sure to go over there and check it out. I know we were plugging it the last night and a couple of nights. So just go by, check it out, watch it. You get to see my face is actually in there. Oh, yeah, people. My face is actually in there.
Yep, I
He's
saw
got
you.
some good screen time there.
That's how you get your face on. You go outside and you aggravate the filming people ahead of time. See, I was filming them all day. That's revenge, is what that is. But no, it was great. And I got the pictures too, by the way, y'all sent last night. I got them. I pulled them off my computer this morning, or actually this afternoon. But yes, people, I will be posting them too. I got a lot of pictures I haven't had a chance to upload too. But when I do, all of their people got to review them. And when we're done, we'll put all those up as well. Eventually, there'll be a picture and a name by every of all the video archives that are on UFO Paranormal Radio right now. They'll be on all the YouTubes eventually, but that's where they are right now. We will release them in audio, but really the video is what you need to see because I put them all in the same chair with the same angle, so you can kind of see their emotions, their expressions, who's nervous, who's not nervous. This will be great in futures when these writers are famous. They'll be blackmail. How much you want to pay me to keep this off there? It's torturing them with stuff like that. But really, they did good. They did well. And I was quite surprised at how many told me they were nervous afterwards and how the girl said, you must be empathic because I sat down and I just relaxed. I said, yeah, I'm evil like that. So just know ahead of time. I said, that's my job is to make you very relaxed so you spill your guts. And a few of them did pretty good. I was quite impressed for youngins, or I shouldn't say youngins, but for first timers. I can be intimidating when I get in one of my moods, but I think they did well. And I told them, I said, look, that's why I made sure I told them about the 25 questions. I said, you can send questions. When somebody asks you to speak on your show, you can ask. And I told them again, don't be bashful. Everybody and their mama's looking for people. Send out your resume. Send out who you are. Send out where you won. You might get 15, you might get an hour, whatever, but you can get on all these podcasts. I mean, there's 3 million of it. Yeah. And there's at least 3 million FM stations. I said, so everybody's looking for entertainment. I said, so don't be bashful, but it's best to send you for the first 2 or 3 years. It's best to send you questions, and that way you have your answers next to you. After about 2 or 3 times, you won't even have to read them anymore. You'll just know they're there for backup, and that way they don't get you. I said, because I'll get to talking to you, and all of a sudden we'll go from your book to who you are and to what you're doing in your life. And I said, you got to watch that, man, because you get in trouble with that. And I also told them too, and I told everyone this: no politics. I said, if you want to keep your audience, I said, I don't care what your personal politics is. I don't care if you're righty, lefty, in the middle. It doesn't matter. I said, unless you want to do politics and know that's the only thing you're going to be doing, don't speak about politics. Don't get goaded into a conversation with a host where they say, this guy or that guy. I said, if they start talking about Biden or Trump or anybody and you like or hate either one, let it go. Just let it go. I said, if you get caught up in it, you just cut off half your audience. They're like, what? I said, you just cut off half your audience. That I said, as long as people know your politics, they'll buy from both sides. If they know your politics, they're not. And for me, it's different because I do political shows, so I can get away with it. But for most people, it's just a danger. You see the girls, nobody on network talks politics except for me and one other host. But we're known for our politics. That's a different story. Except for last night, it was supposed to be politics, and it was Elon Musk. I think Michael's got a man crush on Elon. I might have one myself, but still, he's great to talk about. It's easy to slip into him, and we really got into the space program pretty deep last night, and y'all came up 2 or 3 different times throughout the conversation, and I still remember Jason saying, "Who?" Now, yeah, it's my friend Jason. He calls me up because he works press with me sometimes. He said, "I knew I should have flew out there. I knew I should have flew out there." I said, "I told you to come out and see me." And I said, "You could have been doing interviews with me," because he used to host two different shows on the network. He's on vacation, as he calls it, right now. His dad passed away this year, so he's been on a hiatus. And well, he was just unlucky. He lost his mom, and then, like, I don't know, 6 months later, he lost his dad. It was just
I don't know.
when they were both elderly, so it's one of those things that happens. But enough about that. So, by the way, I noticed the big trophy was Among Us. I was thinking,
It was huge.
when I seen Aaron up there, I was like, how the hell is he going to get this in his trophy? I mean, is it in his suitcase?
Well,
I'm
we
like,
sent them all off with we bought them luggage for their trophies and books and promo and stuff that we gave them.
That's what we'll actually buy luggage for all the winners to put the promo in their award in, and we give them $50 to pay for the extra baggage fee.
yeah.
But then the grand prize winners got a bigger piece of luggage. So
Oh, yeah.
That's a big trophy.
That's a big trophy. We're going to
I
show
saw-
y'all in a little while what we're
I
talking
saw
about.
in
We'll go
there,
there.
that's what it looks like.
so there's
It's just so weird.
this is weird.
It's
So
weird.
behind my magic tie, there's what the
Oh, shit.
trophy. This one here is the
Okay.
grand prize trophy, and then this is the first place trophy.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to be hearing about this magic tie for years to come,
Whoa.
right? They were great trophies, people. All the
Yeah.
trophies were great.
I saw on social media a couple of the winners were posting that TSA was checking their bags because that trophy, it's plexiglass, it's huge, and
They're like, what is this, a bomb?
they were just it's pointy and big, so they were wondering what it was.
Yeah, they're funny at TSA. They're a little strange over there. It's anytime I have one of my guns with me, it's always it used to not be a big headache. Usually I just walk in and check in, but now if I carry one of my guns with me, it's always a big pain in the butt. And I did find a fellow gun enthusiast while I was there. I can't remember his name. Big guy, monster looking guy. Where's he from? Utah, I think is where he was from.
Chris Othorpe?
Bald headed, yeah, like me.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. We had some interesting conversations, and I didn't get to interview him, so I told him I'd catch up with him. But everybody I got to talk to almost all the winners. I think I missed two. So I didn't get them all interviewed, but I got to talk to all of them. And they sound like a promising group. And I told them all. I was laughing. I said, look, I'm going to say when y'all go famous, hey, remember me? I was your first interview. Give me an interview. Give me an interview. But I wish them all the best because it was really a good thing. And y'all really do a good thing. I mean, this gives these people confidence. I mean, what we had, the youngest was 17, what was oldest, like 50 something?
67.
67. So, I mean, even he's gaining confidence. I mean, this is a thing. Y'all didn't see these people, guys. These guys were just teaming with confidence. This is the way you want to send somebody home after an award ceremony so that they go back and want to get involved in whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah.
I heard several of them. I talked to several of them who already told me they were either working on books or had ideas for novels. And all the illustrators I talked to told me they have several projects they want to be working on. So I'm looking forward to see. And I told them, I said, when y'all get new stuff, write to me. You know, after we bring them on, I said, when you get new stuff, just write to me. I said, if I can't put you on this, always. I said, I got 40 live hosts and 60 syndicate. I'm sure we can find somewhere for you to appear. And so, because I want to give them a venue. And I said, well, you're not going to charge? I said, no, I'm not going to charge. I said, I love John and Emily. So, y'all can come on out. And anytime you need to, just let me know. And I'll give y'all some airtime. And because I told them all, I'm going to bring them all back on for at least an hour, maybe two. For the ones who can handle two, they'll get two. The ones who can handle an hour, get an hour. But and I told all the illustrators the same thing: send me your artwork over, and we'll put it on the thing, and you can go through and explain each piece. How you came to it, how it worked out, what was it done with. Since there's so many mediums for painting or for illustrating to these days, so I'm like, and y'all can just walk through the process and explain. I said, and that way, and I said, remember, it'll always be in a place. If you need to download it, I'll send it to you, and you can use it. Send it to somebody. If somebody asks you for a portfolio and you don't want to send them a bunch of paper, you don't have it on your computer, you can just say, here, go use this link, and you can see all my work right there and how I got to it. So it's just another way for them to show off their work. So here, show it off. Authors, I was like, well, we can't be giving your stuff away. I said, oh, you can come on and give me the middle of the book. They were cracking up when I talked. I said, don't tell me about the beginning of your book, and surely don't tell me about the end of your book. I said, go in the damn middle. I said, find a nice teaser, maybe two teasers if it's not long novel, but just talk about them. I said, that'll get people to come read the book or listen to the book. And I said, you're not giving anything away. Because if you tell me the start of the book, I can usually figure out the end of the book. I said,
Uh,
and I said, if you get too close to the end, of course, everybody's going to figure it out. And I said, don't take this the wrong way to all of the famous authors around here, but I've seen a couple of y'all do this over the years. So I'm like, oh, I had one guy, he came on, he just going on. I said, dude, stop it. Nobody's going to buy a book. I said, you're like one of them trailers we see on YouTube that we don't want to go see the movie afterwards. I said, stop it. Yeah, so I wanted them to understand. And they absorbed, I know there's a lot they're going to have to probably go back over, but they absorbed a lot of stuff while they were there.
Well, it's like
Everybody did.
it's referred to as like you open your mouth wide and stick a fire hose in there, and that's like
Oh,
what
yeah.
they're doing,
Yeah.
for a week. A lot of
Christopher,
information.
actually, no, I know I've been doing John and Emily for a while. I just met the people at Author Services. No, they're fabulous. Everybody over there is fabulous. I didn't meet anybody that wasn't fabulous. I know. It's hard to believe. I know. There's always, and I was being a pain in the ass, and still, I didn't meet anybody that wasn't. Oh yeah, I was being a pain. Yeah, everybody was fabulous. And why I can't remember her damn name. Oh God, the picture
Melissa.
take. Yes, I'm gonna get it in my head soon. I got to get it before I interview her because she'll reach the thing and smack me. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of Freudian thing. But no, she was great. I was aggravating the hell out of her, following around, taking pictures of her. She's like, Joe, I'm like, hey, oh, that's a good picture. I see she got revenge though. But everybody had, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She had a few of me, so she got revenge. But I was having, because when we were at the red carpet, I was teasing the press. I said, the press taking pictures of the press, taking pictures of the press, taking pictures of the people. They were like, wait, what? I said, yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. Because we were all taking pictures of each other. And I found it nice that all the press was dressed in black. I don't know why. I just like that for some reason. It's
pretty common. Yeah, just
yeah. Yeah, it does seem like it was, and everybody seemed very comfortable. And before anybody asked, they did take precautions for COVID. Oh yes, people. They took your temperature, looked at your card. Oh yes, and it's one of those things. Everybody tried to restrain distances. I noticed when we were in the different meetings or the different classes, everybody was spread out a little bit. It was kind of nice. I wasn't worried about it, guys. I've had COVID and I got the shot. It's not something I was personally worried about, but it is nice to see people, respecting other people's privacy. And I told everybody I did interviews with, I said, if you feel better with the mask on, keep it on. I said, I'll just get the mic a little closer and we can still hear you. But I mean, if you don't take it off, because there was 8, 9, 10 in the room. People were in the room with me at any given time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so, which the room was perfect, by the way, guys. I just want to tell you that. And Emily, the seating at the place, I couldn't have asked for a better spot than where I was.
Good.
And I enjoyed it. And I got to hang out with the judges and drive them crazy. And I got to flirt with Joni and said, "Ooh, come here with your little black dress, baby. Come sit down by Dad." One time I got her good because she turned a little red. I was like, I knew I could embarrass you. Come over here, come over. She's like, "You're a dog." And yeah, I know y'all, none of y'all know who I'm talking about, but eventually you will because I'm going to interview them all and we'll get a picture up with them. But they're all hardworking. They're all busting their what's while they're there. I never seen anybody slacking in any shape, form, or version. And don't stand still because Sarah will put you to work, by the way. She said, "Joe, what are you doing?" Nothing. Come here. I said, "Can you hand out these books?" I said, "Sure, I'll hand them out." Then she had me go and open them to pages. I was like, "Dad." Then she grabs time. I said, "Well, you can't sit still around this place. This girl going to put you to work." And by the way, Sarah's also fabulous people. She was great to talk with. And I got a couple of pictures. I know she wants me to toss, but we'll have to keep them for prosperity in the future. But I didn't meet anybody who wasn't. Everybody was just great. Everybody seemed to be working their asses off, excuse my language, and nonstop. And they were dealing. And when somebody was asked a question about anything, they handled it. I was surprised how smoothly. And I'm sure for y'all it's different. I know behind the scenes there's always just that other thing to aggravate you, but on the outside, it looked like a well-oiled machine. It looked like everybody knew exactly what the hell they were doing, and it looked like not. The most important part to me was not any of that. It was the fact that they seemed to enjoy it. That was a whole sense I got out of this. Even Emily, I know she was tired by the time we seen her. I know she was enjoying what she was doing, and it's hard to find that. It's just hard to find that. It's I wish more places would be like that. I wish more conferences I speak at would be like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to be aggravating people for the next 2 years, saying y'all need to take after the Goodwins people. Y'all can get your shit together. I said, I didn't see perfection now. Y'all better get y'all stuff together. But
see, one thing that happened too this year, which was different because of COVID, we normally have all of our staff participating in the event. They're all there doing different hats. We couldn't do that. So there
Yeah,
were
somebody got
eight
to
of
run
us.
the company.
Yeah, so there were eight of us, or actually nine of us, who were there doing the whole event. So we had to double and triple up on the hats that we normally had other people doing, so that because right now we're doing voluntary quarantine following the event. We do that for a week, and then we'll go back to the office. So we weren't able to have all those extra people helping us like we normally did. So we would be doubling up on sign-in registration or the after event follow-up feedback, getting, how was the event, and getting what would you like, all that type of stuff. So normally we have other people doing that where we had to then switch gears constantly and put on a different hat. So it made it, that added to the stress factor a bit. And it was it still got pulled off. It was just we had fewer people to do what we normally have doing on these events.
Well, I know you were busted, John. Seen John was doing all kind of stuff. Plus, he was doing interviews while he was going around. He had his mic with him. He was doing interviews while he was doing other stuff, guys. And I said, "Oh, by the way, my wife said you look fabulous on the stage, John." She said, "Oh, he's a good-looking guy." I was like, "Baby, you better shut up." And that's the guy you've been talking about. I said, "Yeah." She, "Oh, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, he's got his stuff together." I was laughing. She's she's a
That's
good
good.
judge of
Well,
character
thank you.
too. It's
Yes.
but I mean, just the whole thing was just great. And again, ladies and gentlemen, and I've said this, I know I've said this numerous times in numerous shows with the good ones, but go take the course. Actually, after watching all this stuff, I might go take the course again because I actually understand more. Yeah, people, I actually learn stuff. Believe it or not, I was there as press. I actually learned stuff, both from the authors and from the illustrators. I got to
Okay.
talk with Tom and Santos a lot, and they explained a lot of stuff I just did not understand, which I do now, which is strange. And I'm thinking, I'm watching these authors and these little youngins. I'm thinking, gee, well, they can do it. What the hell can't I? I was like, I was kind of jealous, man. I was like,
Yeah.
it was great. But they do have the free course on writersfutures.com. You can go over there and take it. Um, and I met some of the people, and I was talking to a couple of people about the videos on there, and that helps out. I said they got all kind of material on this site, people that you can go through. And I was talking to Wolf about the blog and things like that. I put him on a
Yeah.
hot seat about the blog, and I said, "Man, do you really watch these crazy people that come up?" And he said, "You damn right I do." And but he was fun to listen to. And I seen he was working the whole time. He was gathering material while he was there, staying busy, and
Yeah.
nobody I seen there wasn't busy. Um, really, I'm sure everybody when they finally got to go to bed at night, they were probably just passing out. It's
Yeah.
I know the winners were because they were telling me like, God, we were up till 3, 4 in the morning. I remember when y'all gave them that assignment to write that 24-hour story and they were swapping out and reading each other's stories. They were going crazy. I was laughing. They said,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
never going to get this done. I said, well, I got faith y'all going to all get it done. And, well, it's not going to be very good. I said, hey, how do you know until you do it? And they're like, well, I guess you're right. And then it was great to listen to. I didn't record any of that, by the way, but
Well, they
um,
did.
yeah, they did it. That's a and but it was so funny listening to them. It was just hilarious. See, that was a nice part for me because I'm not part of the judges. I'm not part of y'all, so I could walk around freely. Nobody had to be worried about what
No
they were saying
pressure.
around. Yeah, there was no pressure around me, and like I told them, I said the whole event. I said if I'm going to record you, you're going to know it ahead of time. I will tell you when we're live and when we're not. I said, but when we're doing this stuff like this, I'm just chit chatting, just getting a feel about who y'all are and when I want to interview you and stuff like that. So that was really really nice. The only thing Tom and I had a gripe about is you couldn't get a drink after 12. So that was our only
Yeah,
real
with
gripe.
COVID, a lot of they have all these rules in LA. So
They
probably
do.
next year when you come, it'll be a bit different.
But it was a nice hotel. It was the Roosevelt Hotel, which was the original
Oh, it's
site
a great hotel.
of the first Academy Awards. And
Yeah.
I mean that's like it's like old Hollywood there. That whole structure. So it's not in a new building. It's been renovated a few times, but that's definitely old Hollywood.
No, it was very comfortable there. I found the staff at the hotel to be very nice and really on the ball for the most part. And I had no gripes about them. I had a great time. The maid was nice. She would knock on my door in the morning, so that was nice. And then when I'd leave, she'd come do the room, which was nice because most hotels I stay at like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, look, do you really want to get shot? Don't knock on my door when I've been up all night. I mean, come on, what's wrong with you people? And but no, I mean the hotel room was great, and it was actually the way that room was designed was perfect for doing. But it had nice acoustics in it. It worked really well, and it was funny because I took the lamp apart and put the mic in the lamp, so because I could get it up there. so they could get it. And I took one of the other lamps apart. So we had lots of lamps. Sure, the maids were looking like, "What the hell's going
That's why
on
they're
here?"
knocking on your door at 9 a.m.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, everybody did a good job of interviews. And there was a couple of them I had to, and y'all will see them later on. There's a couple I had to pull it out of, but I talked with them afterwards and said, "Look, guys," I said, "this isn't that hard." I said, "Just remember," I said, "don't do one word answers. You're not going to get ever invited back." I'm just telling you. I said, "Nobody wants to hear yes and no." I said, "When somebody says, tell us about this, tell us about this, you don't have to get into long explanations. Give them something." And I said, and always keep a little bit hidden that you might want to use on another interview down the line. I think they're all going to do good. I really do. I was quite impressed with the whole bunch of them. Like I said, I didn't get all of them. I'm still down about 8 or 9, but I was quite impressed with the whole bunch,
Really?
especially the younger ones. And
Mhm.
y'all didn't know Emily had electric pride out there. That's what was going on. Anybody got out of line? It was
Now.
you would calm down, people. No, I'm just teasing.
I was mostly down at the event hall.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we rarely seen her. It was like she was like one of them rare sightings of one of them rare deer or something running through the place. It was like, oh, there goes Emily. But yeah, both look fabulous on the red carpet. By the way, of course, Emily looks like she's this big around. Of course, John don't look much bigger around. So I'm just saying they look good together, guys. Y'all should. There's a lot of pictures of. They look like, oh yeah, walking around. And what were the youngins calling y'all? The power couple. That's what the youngins were calling y'all. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good name for them. I have to remember that for the future so I can torture them with that. It's but it was great. I mean, and when I asked specifically about y'all, because usually I was asking general questions about how you were treated. When I asked specifically about y'all, they loved y'all. Matter of fact, they loved everybody. Everybody I asked about was pretty much the same thing. Oh yeah, they were great. They were great. They were great. They were great. I mean, it was like somebody was paying these people to say, "Y'all were great. Y'all were great. Y'all were great." But ladies and gentlemen, they weren't. I mean, these people. And the best part about these winners was these guys were actually torturing the winners, and they still thought they were great. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I mean torture, I'm talking about classes and stuff and lectures and stuff.
We cut their classes off sometimes at 6 o'clock. They were done for the night, but then there's this what they call bar con, which is where they in the night they go to the bar, drinking or not drinking. They go eat and whatever, but that's where the judges go specifically to hang out so that they can further have like one-on-one and talk to the judges and get some little pearls of wisdom outside of the actual class, just on specific things that they want to know.
Oh,
Or
great.
sometimes you see them show up with their little books and would you be able to autograph this? I mean, it's like super cute. But
well, I know one night I caught them all by the side of the pool. Everybody was just sitting down. I think the whole group was down there.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 judges, and it looked like pretty much all the winners were there. Yeah, there was just a little conversation moving around. It was like little pieces of conversation in different groups. It was kind of interesting to listen to. And then I caught a couple. A couple of times we caught them like at the barbecue. We around tables. There were just people talking. And then a couple of times we caught them up by the bar, and every now or we just catch a little pocket of people, 4 or 5, just hanging out talking. And I'm rude. I just came and sat down and started talking to them, and how I am. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all been having a good time? What's going on? They're like, whoa, the Inquisitor has arrived.
Oh no! But that's the BarCon. See, that's that's not us ordering them around. We let them off, and they stay for like 8 hours. And don't sleep. But they kind of it's their one shot. They're there for 1 week, and they make the most out of it. With
and everybody was
judges and making new friends and networking. And we had publishers there and editors, and so there was a lot of people to speak to make connections and stuff, and artists who can get with writers to do book covers, and there's just a lot of networking that happens there.
There is, and nobody wanted, really and truly, none of them really wanted to sleep. They wanted to keep talking to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really nice to see. They were just networking everywhere they can. A lot of the authors were talking with the different illustrators, and they were going back and forth. Of course, they were all talking to each other. There's lots and lots of different conversations. And funny but asked, no, they were it was pretty much, I don't want to say work conversation, but it was related to what was going on there. It was 99% of the conversation that you heard.
Yeah.
And or thanking or blessing someone who helped them to get there, and stuff like that. So I know y'all's names came up a couple times when we were sitting at the bar talking. And now breakfast was always interesting. There was always a bunch of people at breakfast. I catch John sometimes, or I'd catch some other people at breakfast, but there was always a couple of judges, a couple of the winners were having breakfast. So we just have breakfast and just chit chatting. And my thing was, 4 to 5
Yeah.
nights I did not eat dinner. I'm not kidding you. I only ate
Yeah.
dinner one night, and that was the night. That was the night of the event. I would forget. I would just get busy. Like when John called me about the steak, I said, "Man, I cannot." I told these youngins, "I cannot believe I'm giving them steak for you guys." I had 10. I had 10 in the room, so I wanted to take advantage of it. I don't
Yeah.
So it was, and they were fast interviews, and they're like, I said, "Yes, I'm giving up steak for you. I just want y'all to know that. So sit down, and let's get these going." But there was all great interviews. That was the night I had. When I think it was Sanchez, when he finished, I said, "Can I have the floor for a second?" I said, "Look, I'm going up to do interviews. Whoever's interested." And it was like 12 of them followed me up there.
Wow.
So we just started whacking them out, and it's weird to me, but the illustrators' mindset, of course, are different than the writer's mindset
Yeah.
because I mean where they're at. But it's kind of strange when I look at it from an outsider's point of view, how different it is. Because to me, they're both artists. That's how I look at them as
Yeah.
artists. But the way they formulate thought is quite a bit different. It was kind of
Yeah.
strange. It was very interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, if y'all listen to these interviews, which they are available on UFO Paranormal Radio, you're going to see what I mean. They just have a different way they formulate the thought. And I guess it has to do with their own individual art. Or their own individual work, but everybody I talked to said they got something in the background, something they're working on, something they want to get out. And I
Hmm.
said, well, I said it'll probably be December, January before I start calling you. I said, so get it together if you want to debut it, if you want to talk about it. Or I said, but remember, don't give away the story. Just
Yeah.
don't give it away. And so, two of them were
Well,
telling me about sci-fis they were working on. I'm waiting for those. Okay, I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah. We got several novels in the works, but this was an unusual year too because we had 2 years. So we had winners from volumes 36 and volume 37, and all the foreigners who weren't able to make it, they're now invited again to next year. So next year we'll have volume 38, but we'll also have some winners from volume 36 and volume 37.
Yeah.
So it'll be another large event there, but everybody's promised to get a workshop. That's part
Yeah.
of what we promised that we're going to give these people. So we had one that couldn't make it because she just had a baby a week before the event. But the ones that were other countries that couldn't attend, well, as soon as the borders open, then they're going to be, they're invited so they can come, so they can see the awards gala and get some good food and walk the red carpet and
To get their moment on stage.
meet Joe Montaldo.
Yes,
Yeah.
because be
Get
tortured by me.
interviewed by Joe. Get chased around the pool by Joe.
That's right. I drive him crazy. I had a great time. I mean, and they were all willing to do interviews, but there was times I didn't want to interfere. There was times I could have grabbed them, but the other things were going on. I'm like, well, no, I'd rather them experience that. I can catch them anytime. If I can't get them today, I can always get their information on John, get them later. So,
Yeah.
but there were times, I could have grabbed 8 or 9. I'm like, nah, I just don't want to do that. And then a few of them doing Dune. We did some interviews doing Dune, which I was kind of like, damn, I wanted to see Dune. And they're like, why? I said, because I told the writer I was going to torture him if I didn't like it when John introduced me to him. I was like, but I finally, when I seen it when I finally got home, but I got a 70-inch TV in my bedroom with surround sound, so it looked pretty good.
Nice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I got to meet one of the writers of Dune, and he was very nice guy. And when I told him it was a remake, he said, no, I'm writing the movie correctly. He corrected me instantly. And I said, okay, well, I said, I'll be sure when I say that on the air that's how you said it. But he was a nice guy too. Everybody was just, even the people I met at the event were really nice people. I met quite a few people on the floor that didn't know who the hell they were, but they were nice and came up and talked to me and everything, which was really nice. And then John introduced me to quite a few. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, John and Emily made sure the whole time I was there I was well taken care of. Every now and then somebody check in on me, see what I was doing, what's up here, where you at, what's going on, you need anything. They were the consummate hosts. That's all I can say. And let me tell you what, they were both busy as crap. The fact that they even took time to check in on me was nice. I said, because I know Emily was nonstop. It was like, so was John. You'd see one, like I said, they were just like an extinct animal running loose. Every then you get a glimpse of them going by.
Well, it was good to. This is our first time meeting you in person, so we
Yes,
wanted to
and I had a
spend
great
some
time.
And yeah.
And everybody at Arthur Services were fabulous. They were just a fabulous group over there. I couldn't because I'm thinking, who the hell's Arthur Services? I'm serious. When they're talking about it, who the hell is this? I said, wait a minute, there's somebody I didn't meet here. There's something missing in this whole thing. And then afterwards, I got to go on the tour, which was great. By the way, I love those offices over there. I was jealous. I was telling Johnny, he said, you need to let me have an office here. I can fly out and use it from time to time. I said, but I loved the tour. The place is great. And we were talking about different things. I mean, there's a lot of material in there to look at. A lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
And of course, both of them
Yeah.
giving me a tour were great. So, and it's just there was a lot of good stuff there, and I like the oh hell, it went out of my brain now. Old age is kicking my butt. The time capsules. I went there
Oh
was
yeah.
five of them. Yeah, so yes,
Yeah.
people they have time capsules there. I said, damn, I wonder what's in these things. So those were interesting. But the whole place, and by the way, it's beautifully done. Whoever did the work there was a good contractor. They did a fabulous job. Yes, people, I can't help it. I'm a contract at heart when I walk. It doesn't. This drives my wife crazy, by the way. We can be in the most high dollar place in the world. I'm looking around saying, them guys didn't know what they were doing. Oh, their crown could have been better. It's like, shut up and eat dinner. God help you if I go to a bad place. Lord have mercy. But no, the Roosevelt was great. The staff was great. I mean, everybody was really nice. I didn't have any problems with anybody there. And one night Tom and I were coming out of we got something to eat. I think we got a drink and got something to eat. This poor girl is beating on the door, the front door. I'm like, I said, it won't unlock. You got to go around. The security guard said, you got to go around. She must have been drunk off the plane. She could not figure out go around. That was hilarious. But other than that, it was great. It was great. And y'all know I rented the Maserati for what was it, 4 hours. I had to borrow
Oh,
it.
did you?
You did
Oh yeah,
that?
yes I did. I
Did you
grabbed
drive
it.
down the beach with it?
Yeah, real fast too. Well, real quick story. So I'm coming back. I was in the red one. I'm flying along because I'm used to living down here. And I hit this street, and all of a sudden it was roadblocks. I just kind of hit it and punched it and spun around and took off. I mean, I did a fishtail and took off the other way. And I'm about 15 minutes. I'm sitting there at a light, and I hear, I look out the window because I had the convertible top down. I'm looking at like, who the hell are you? I'm thinking, wait, am I getting mugged? I should have brought Martha with me. And the guy says, can you sign this? I said, what do you mean, can I sign this? I said, who the hell are you? He said, we're the guys filming down there. They want to add in the movie. I said, well, just don't show the license plate because I don't want the guy to know I rented it out to doing fishtails in his Maserati. So he said, we're going to send you a check. You're going to get it. I said, really? I said, sure. You're sending me money. Yeah, feel free. Put it anywhere you want. That was hilariously funny because every now and in New Orleans you run into that. Something will be going on. You run through it, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, you're an extra now. I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh, you got
extra?
the full Hollywood experience.
Oh,
You
it was
came
great.
out here and you were in a movie in a Maserati. That's pretty funny.
Well, because, there was two movies filming to the left of when at night I got there. Down
Yeah, the
that
premieres.
side.
There were two premieres. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and then this was about 9 or 10 blocks from where the hotel was, but I was cruising. It was stupidity on my part. I should have been going that fast. I didn't know where the hell I was, and I just come zipping up, and I seen him when I did. I just pulled the emergency brake and punched it and spun it. I used to race dirt cars when I was young, and it was just like
That's the same thing. Maserati, dirt cars. Yeah.
it was not quite. I mean, dirt cars you stay on, you slide all the way the whole time anyway. So. And my car I got now is pretty quick. It'll do 160. So it's I like to go fast. I can't help it. People don't hate. I live in a state where you can go
That was
fast.
on Hollywood Boulevard.
It's not on Hollywood Boulevard. That's true because too many people walking around. But I had a great time, and it was just such a weird experience because I wanted to run down to Highway 1. I said I haven't been down there in 10 years. I just wanted to go quick and see what it changed, what it looked like. So I seen it down there when we were in the Academy room. I seen them down there. First it was yellow, then a red one pulled up, and later on I walked down. He says, $109. I said, what, an hour? He said, well, yeah. I said, what's 4 hours? He said, well, where are you from? I said, New Orleans. We got to chit chat and told him I was on radio. So I'll plug him. So he said, you'll just take it for the 4 hours. I said, okay, I'll be back after a while. And I gave him a license, made a copy, and I was gone. And I did see, though, people, this is typical California now. I shouldn't even bring this up. But the whole time I'm there, they had the weed van parked across the street from the hotel.
Oh, gosh.
I was laughing because me and Tom walk out the front door when there's three guys standing there. I'm like, I said, man, I'm getting high. What the hell's going on? And Tom looked at me. He said, Jesus, all three of them got a big fatty smoke. I said, look, guys, y'all got to move down. I can't be smelling like that stuff right now. I said, these youngins will be, what the hell's going on here? And but that was kind of fun. But last time I was in L.A., when I was out by, where did they put me at the Hyatt thing or whatever the hell it was, right out by the airport. And I remember I was walking to the store because I wanted a Coke because the hotel only had Pepsi. So I walked down to get a Coke. And every alleyway I passed, you could smell it. See, down here it's legal, but they don't let you smoke on the street like that. They'll still put your ass in jail for that. So it's an experience, people. I'm just warning y'all in case you go down there. If you're not a smoker, just beware.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was great. Well, everybody's going to do their thing. I'm not hating. I mean, it's legal there. I'm not going to hate anybody for doing this.
Well, it's not a matter of hating. It's just a matter of you can't smoke a cigarette on the street without getting side eye. But the whole street starts to smell sometimes.
Yeah, it does. The whole one time me and Nico and Tom went. There was I think it was around 1 a.m. And I'm like, damn, we'll never make it to the liquor store. He said, wow. I said, we'll be high as hell when we get there. He starts laughing. And I was like, damn. But, it's just one of the things to deal with in Hollywood. But, I mean, it was great. It was a tip. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it was a typical Hollywood experience. And what I mean by that, you're at the Roosevelt, which is a great hotel. It's an old hotel. It's a pretty famous hotel. A lot of nice architecture in the hotel. It's a very comfortable place to be. The rooms are very comfortable. I had stacked up a bunch of pillows and was sleeping like I was on a feather down or something. So, and it's typical Hollywood. You got the stars on the walkway right there, so you can see all that. You got a lot of stuff around you that you can see. The Chinese Theater, which is very famous, is what, a half a block away or something.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's you get the whole Hollywood, and then they bring you and they put on this big gala, which again, Emily was just fantastic. Um, yeah, Emily did it all by herself. There wasn't nobody helping her.
Yeah, right. That was a massive production.
Yes, it was, and she did a fantastic job making sure it all came off great. The whole thing looked fabulous at night. They did whoever was doing the cameras and all did a great job. It was a great event, and it is a great. You got the red carpet experience, especially. I've been on a red carpet once or twice in my life, but for these guys coming up, this was just great for them. There was press all over the place harassing them, which is something they need to get used to, especially if they're going to be famous.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. I can't even tell you how better. No, people, I'm telling y'all, write a book so you can go experience the damn things. What I'm telling you, look, I'm telling y'all, and they fly everybody up there on their ticket. Yes, I was amazed by that. No, I know it wasn't cheap. I mean, they got them put up the whole. Think about it. There was how many attendees this year? 33, plus all the other people that were there, the judges and then myself. So they flew everybody up there on their ticket, put them all up in hotels.
Actually, Mr.
Great.
Hubbard's ticket. Mr. Hubbard actually.
Well, that's what I should say. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you corrected me on that. And yes, and they all thanked Hubbard too. I noticed everybody made sure they thanked him. What's her name kept put her 17-year-old way of thinking stuff, which was cracking me up.
My boy.
Oh yeah, I said my boy, but I'm sure Ryan understands it's the times now. But I'm telling you, if there is a place where he could be looking down, he's probably thrilled. I mean, because it went off great.
Yeah,
got a lot of potential people coming out of this. I'm going to keep my eye on Barbara and Ian because definitely our little buddy down in Australia, just because he's high energy. Them damn blue eyes, you'll probably get in the movies, man. That boy got some blue eyes. I mean, Lord have mercy, and he's high. Y'all see him, guy. He's on the video, and he's extremely high energy.
Yeah, after his video speech, Tim Powers, who had announced him, he presents the video, and then it comes down, and he goes, God, can you imagine if he was here?
As I'm saying, he's doing backflips on the stage, man. He was very high energy.
You text him.
I messaged him as soon as he was announced, and it took him 10 minutes to answer me. And he finally answers. He had been up in Australia watching the live event, and he finally answers me after 10 minutes. He goes, "Okay, sorry it took so long to get back to you. I've been running around in circles for the last 10 minutes."
No, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I mean, it's a prestigious award. I mean, it's been around. So we're on book 39 now, right? So we're close to 40 years with this.
Yeah.
And this is just great. And the fact that it's there and it's available. Look, writers out there, and I know there's a lot of potential writers going to be listening to this and artists. I can tell you what I've experienced with John and Emily. So they have the great online course, which I push all the time because I want to see more and more people. I hate to say this, more and more foreigners win, but it just costs them more money when they win. But still, I want to see all y'all getting in here and getting involved. But for you writers and illustrators, no matter where you're from, submit. I mean, it's legit. All they're going to tell you if it's a bad story or if it's okay but not a winning story, they're going to say submit again. Submit again. You can submit 4 times a year, which I didn't realize when I first met these guys. So you can submit 4 times a year. That's Luke. Well, this is my 14th try. I finally won. There's a couple of them up there. Whoo, it took a little while, but I won. That was cracking me up too.
Yeah.
But, there was a lot of what surprised me in the artists. There was a lot of first time winners. I got like a group of them when I was doing that one group of artists. I was like, wow, okay, so let's talk about this. How you feel being a special person winning first time out the gate? Is that how can I say this? Do the artists win more first times than the writers? I mean, I don't know. I was just asking.
They do, yeah.
There's more entries for the writer contest, but what's happening now, since Echo is taking the helm as the coordinating judge for the illustrator contest.
I love Echo, by the way.
Yeah, she is absolutely amazing. But she's got now, so there's more and more people entering the contest. So we're going to start getting now, as the number of entries continues to increase, the odds of winning first time out will get less and less. It used to be the way at the get go with the writer contest, but now with thousands of entries every quarter, you're going to have to enter. Every now and then, there's somebody will win on first time out, but usually it's two or three. Quite often, it's 5, 6, 7 times that they have to enter. And then you've heard the one 14 times. One girl's been entering for over 20 years.
I think the record is Preston Bennett.
Yeah, Preston's the record.
Yeah, it's Preston.
47.
Yeah. But even Kevin Anderson, one of our judges, entered, I think, 18 times. And then he pro'd out, meaning he sold professionally, so he was no longer qualified for the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes when you get some good books. Because we were talking about that, about different, writing and stuff like that. I said, well, if you're a pro, you can't really submit. I said, so because a friend of mine asked, he said, well, you think? I said, no, dude, I said, you're making $300,000 a year selling books. They're not going to let you come in. He said, no. He said, but I said, there ain't no but to it. I said, don't waste their time. I said, well, I'm going to use a pen name. I said, don't waste it. I said, I will rat you out, buddy. I said, I'm telling you ahead of time. I said, don't do it. I said, you make a good living writing books, and
you can come attend the event and network and stuff. But
he does 4 books a year. Is what he does. He works. He's like Nick Redfern. He does 9 to 5, 5 days a week. That's how he writes. I said, well, how do you? I said, because I asked him in an interview. I said, well, how do you make your imagination? I said, my imagination doesn't work like that. I said, sometimes I'll be in the middle of something, boom, and I said, I couldn't do it 9 to 5. I said, I'd get writer's block and irritated and all kind of other stuff. He said, once you do it enough, it just comes a habit. And he said, a lot of my books are based on research anyway. So I said, it's a little bit different. I said, okay, well, I was just curious. Because, Nick Redfern, who's a ufology, I should guess he's a paranormal writer, be a better way of saying it. He's got tons of books. He writes them 9 to 5. I just, because I asked a lot of the writers, could they do that? Most of them were like, no, I can kind of do it, but I'm more interested in writing like this or writing like that, or whenever the muse hits me is when I write. So I can understand that. I can understand that for the illustrators too. Whenever the better you mood you're in, probably the better the product you're going to put out. And then
the video that was on the event video with Erwin Hubbard's voice. You're talking about that where
creativity doesn't fit into a time slot.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It doesn't. So I am surprised by the people who can do 9 to 5 on this kind of stuff. And I guess if you got an imagination you can turn on and off like that, it's a good thing. Mine doesn't work like that. Mine just, whenever it hits the mood, it's when I got to go put something down or mess with something or do a video or something like that or do an archive. It's just because I never know when it's going to hit me. As a matter of fact, I recorded a piece of an archive on the way back, flying back in, because right in the middle of the flight, I said, this is a good idea. I start recording. The guy next to me is looking at me like, this guy is crazy. But I just, if I forget, if I get an idea and I don't put it in my phone immediately, I'll forget about it. It'll go away.
Yeah.
It's too much stuff going through my head, so I always do it like that. So, your favorite time, other than the gala, your favorite time at the thing? I'm putting you all on the spot because I already know the gala is the favorite, so we're not going to go there.
Okay, I'll tell you my other favorite moment of the week is the big art reveal.
Mm-hmm.
That's when each year, because you have 12 writer winners, 12 illustrator winners, the illustrators get hired to illustrate one of the stories in the book, and they don't. They haven't seen it yet. Like the writers haven't seen their art piece until they come to Hollywood, and we have this big reveal, and all the artwork's lined up in a room, and the illustrators are sort of like off to the side, and then the writers go in, and then they usually very quickly find the piece that goes with their story, and then you get like just all this emotion in the room, and some of them are hugging and crying, and all kinds of things happen, and they're so touched by what somebody created for their story, and that somebody else had this vision and created this imagery for it that tells the story. And it's something you hear about. You heard them talking about it from the stage, even like wow,
because it was great. I was amazed at how fast the writers knew what their what piece of artwork belonged to that.
It's usually like that. They find it and they're usually extremely touched by what somebody had done with their story.
Yeah,
you were there. It was super nice.
I was going to say I seen more tears there than I seen at the main event, which was surprising to me. And you could just tell. And it was funny because I was talking. I said, "How did you know?" oh, okay. When I seen it, I knew it was for me. It was from my book, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm looking at all this artwork, and I'm thinking, I don't know who the hell's book this belongs to.
They all
And
seem to like spot it right away.
they
They know
did, they
it's
did,
theirs. It's really
and the
Well,
cool.
what's
artwork was
important about
fabulous.
it too, because it's illustration, which means by the very nature of it, it tells a story in the image.
Yeah.
But what you've got there is the writer, for the first time, has had his work viewed and translated from the eyes of an artist. And how does someone else view their art, view their writing? And for the artist, they're like they've bared their soul. This is what my done. This is my creation. So if their concern is the writer not going to like it. If they're going to be like, oh, nice. They're really uptight about that.
I can
So
imagine.
so when they meet each other, and the illustrator says your story is just amazing, and the writer says, oh my God, this is perfect. For them, they've had so much tension built up of like what's going to happen when you meet your counterpart, that when it kind of releases, there is that emotion that comes off. And we had some of the winners, because there were several that were other countries that couldn't make it. So we had some people on. We did some Zoom, so that they could actually see each other. That was really touching too. That they for people that couldn't be there.
Yeah.
It was, and the whole event was just and I did like to reveal because it was nice to see how emotional both the artist and the writer got. And I remember we were talking at the pool. I was with 6 or 7 of the guys, and we were talking afterwards. And somebody said something to me. I said, "No, it's all right for guys to cry." And they looked at me and said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm big old scary ugly guys. If I can, y'all surely can." And the guy's like, he started crying. He said, "Man, it's like I had permission." I was like. I said it's a new world. And it's one of the things we brought up several times. I said, it's a new world. Guys can cry. I said it's stuff like that. I said don't hold the emotions in. I said it's gonna make you angry down the line or something, or give you a headache or worse. And he's like, really? I said, oh yeah, I've cried. I said the worst time I ever cried was I was giving a lecture, and these 3 women came up and thanked me for saving their lives, which still even today, when I think about it, is just crazy. And they all did like a bear hug on me. I was bawling like a little schoolgirl, man. I was just, and somebody got a picture of me. He's like, you're like, geez. And back then I had a big beard. My hair was all over the place. And they're like, God, you look like you might kill somebody. And you're over there crying. He said, I don't even know how to take that. I said, just shows you that anybody can cry if they want to. I said, I was raised that guys can't cry. I said, so it's a little different for me. I said, so it was a little harder for me to get to that point. I said, but y'all are not. It's part of y'all's thing. So, take advantage of it. But it was great. I mean, I got a lot of. I was looking through last night, and I was going through the artwork, and they really have some fabulous artwork in there. And that's another thing I told them. I said, don't forget, guys. I said, for the illustrators, I said, don't forget this. I said, radio stations, TV stations, all kind of these people need artwork. I said, I'm constantly needing artwork. I said, I have several people on my staff that do art or that are pretty good. I said, we all of us need artwork. I said, we're constantly changing banners out. We're constantly changing out things on our sites. We're trying to, I said, I got a lady right now working on a banner for the site that represents the whole site, which this ought to be interesting when I get it. And I said, everybody has to pay for this. I said, someone like me can go use PicMonkey. I said, but it's not going to be the same as if like an illustrator came and illustrated it. It's just not going to be the same thing. One, I don't have that much talent, so it's going to be like little squares. Ooh, look at that. See? So they just got fabulous artwork.
Here, let's one right here. That was move your hand. That one's the one that
grand prize winner.
Yeah, he was the grand prize.
With the magician, the wizard.
Kind of hard to show you. And then the one next to it was a good contender as well, but you can kind of get an idea of the art there.
The artwork was beautiful, people. Eventually, all of it will be up so y'all can go review it for yourselves and take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen. There's just eventually I'll do another show where everything's when everything's up so we can flip through it and scroll through it. But the artwork was fabulous. I didn't see anything I didn't like. There was even a piece that was kind of Star Trek-y to me. I remember when I talked to the artist about it. I forgot which piece it was, but it gave me a sense of Star Trek, like the Star Trek universe. It was very good. I mean, whatever it was very, very good. It was a girl standing there, I think, like with the moon by or something. It was a nice piece. But I enjoyed all the pieces.
Is that one?
Yep, that one right there. That's it. Yeah, the one on the left. That's the one. And it just had a kind of Star Trek-y feel about it, but it was very well done. All the artwork was done, and they had a lot of artwork there. The authors were surprised. You could see it in their faces as I was walking around. Didn't matter if it was a guy author or a female author, it just didn't matter. They were very impressed. And I'm still waiting to read Barbara's The Sixers. Her and I talked about it a couple of times. It sounded. She said, "What do you think I'm
Oh,
going to
it's a
win?" I said,
great
"Yeah, I think you're
story.
going to win." She said, "Why do you think I'm going to win?" I said, "Because winners a lot of times exude confidence that they don't know they have." And I said, "You and Ann and one other person I talked to had that kind of confidence." I said, "So you'll probably win." And she's like, "No, no." I said, "Yeah, well, take it for what it is." I said, "I've been in the business a long time. You'd be surprised how good I am at picking winners." But it's I really just and all of them were just so happy to be there. You can't get
Yeah.
Yeah.
past that part. I understand that it's a big deal in their lives, and but it went far beyond that. It was just the way they were treated. When I was doing the interviews with them, when I asked them specifically about the way they were treated, you could hear it in their voice. They were really, really happy to be there. They were really happy about the way they were treated. Of course, they love Echo and Tom to death. I'm not sure, but that's about some kind of crush thing going on there, but still. And they love Powell too. Then I guess that was probably the three most approachable judges for them. But they liked Dean too. Dean was pretty approachable as well.
Yeah.
Todd was approachable. Matter of fact, no, it was Wolf that introduced me to the drummer of
Led
Jethro
Zeppelin.
Tull. Yeah.
Jethro
Jethro
Tull,
Tull.
rather. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but you just never know who you were going to meet while you were there. And,
Mhm.
uh, and again, ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all weren't there, and you can see the event, but you can't see what was going on at the Roosevelt. These people, these winners, because I don't want to say youngins because it was all ages, they were happy to be there. I can't remember his name now. He was probably closer to my age. Him and I sat and had a couple of drinks, had a couple of Crown and Cokes, and talked about quite a few things. He's well adjusted. He's very comfortable. We didn't actually get an interview. We would after the after party.
Was that
we
one
were
of the judges
talking.
or a winner?
Wait, say that again.
Was that a judge or a winner?
I was a winner. He soft brown hair, kind of parted to the side. I can't remember his name right now. I'll
John
see.
Campbell?
He was really nice. We talked. He was squished between. Tom was on the end. Aiko was right there. And he was right there. And I was right there. So he was like squished between us all on a couch. But we had a pleasant conversation. All the youngins were there. They had a pleasant conversation. I was surprised how many of the winners came up with us. And they hung out. They hung out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with us. And they had a good time. And they were all so well. There was so much energy after the gala. There was
Yeah.
just so
Sure.
much of it.
Yeah.
And everybody was looking for a way to burn it off. But that's when I found out that what's his name, Brock, wanted to ask his girlfriend to marry him on stage. I said, "Emily will choke you. You know that, right, dude? She would have came
No.
up there and choked you to death, but he messed up her gala." He said,
No,
"No."
it
I
would
said,
have been
"No,
a
she would
first.
not have."
It would have been a first, though.
Yeah, but that's what I told him. I said,
But it definitely wouldn't have been appropriate.
he said, yeah. He said, I thought about it. He said, and then I thought it's not fair to the other people. So he actually thought about that. And I know he's been kind of rough growing up as a kid. So him and I talked about it off the camera, but he actually thought about it. It was nice that he thought about it, because somebody might have just blurted it out and did it. And he just thought it wouldn't have been appropriate. And I remember his girlfriend told him, "Well, you can do that anywhere, baby. You didn't have to do it here." I was like, okay, so enough of this conversation. I need to hear no more about this. And but everybody I talked to was just great. I mean, I think I only missed two of the winners that I didn't get a chance to talk to. I talked to all the judges that were there on several occasions, and they were all great. And I said, no, I said, I promise. I said, I'm gonna get with John, and we're gonna set up a thing where John and I interview all of y'all. And I was gonna do it by myself, but to be honest with you, John is way more cultured in the or in writers and what goes on with him than I am. I've read a lot when I was young, but John just has a much. Well, all of y'all do really. I haven't met anybody over there that didn't. I mean, what do y'all got? Like 5 editors over there I've met, and everybody just seems to have a very keen grasp of what's going on, especially writer wise. And I enjoyed that because it really made me feel better and actually helped me to understand more of how a writer's mind works. So I've interviewed at least 500 writers in my life, maybe more. And oh, sorry, my alarm's going off. But this, hey, excuse me. I
Well,
knew I should have closed the studio doors. I apologize. That's the evil alarm that wants to. Don't. It's okay,
well,
baby.
I'm glad you left your alarm clock home and didn't bring your alarm off to
Yeah, you're
the
glad. It's with me. I know.
because
Oh, you should hear the little one. She thinks she's a rooster. So
I
we
would have
definitely.
rather have had a proposal on stage than your alarm clock going
I
off.
hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I didn't. I was going to shut the studio door early, and I said no. I'm gonna leave it open because it's kind of cool in the house.
That's okay.
But it's
One
everybody
thing
there
too
was.
about the contrast switch, I don't know if there's if everybody understands that. But it really is open to everybody who's not professional. So you've observed on the stage that we've got, you know, um, there's no restrictions. You know, we've got the youngest person was won the contest when she was 16. She was 17 when she was at the event, and the oldest this year was 67. So we got the whole gamut there. There's
Every race,
every race, every color,
every gender.
whatever religions. We don't obviously get into religions on the stuff, and there's no discrimination on gender either. Which
There
you
isn't.
would
There isn't.
anybody
Well, I
looks at,
remember
you'll be able
when
to observe that.
was it Leah? No, who was it that was said about her wife? And no, it wasn't Leah. I can't remember her name, but we talked when we
Yeah,
were in the thing, and I told him, I said,
Heather.
yeah,
Heather. Yeah,
yeah, Heather, yeah, and I told him, I said, look, I said you can discuss whatever you want with me. It's an open forum. I said, if you want to bring up something like that, that's fine. I said, it doesn't matter to us. I said my station represents a lot of different sexes, a lot of different colors, and a lot of different age groups. I said, so for us, it's different. I said, it's the way we're designed, but I said, I know in the real world it doesn't always work that way. I said, but no, don't ever hesitate. And because she was at the party with us and she was saying, I hope I didn't offend. I said, I don't think you offended anybody, sweetie. She said, you sure didn't offend the good one? I said, I can tell you now you didn't offend the good one, so don't even worry about it. And you said, you sure? I said, I'm positive. I said, I know John and Emily fairly well enough to know that that's not going to bother either one of them. And I said, and everybody wants to make a statement these days. I said, so as long as it's not rude to everybody else, I don't see what the big deal is.
right.
But I mean, everybody was great, and the judges were great, and it just was a great event. And it is free, people. It's completely and totally free. So wait, again, let me iterate. So it's free. You can submit, and then they're gonna pass your stories on to the judges as they go through review. But there's gonna be no names, no colors, no sexes, no religions on them. So it's just a story. And then they're gonna review the story. Same thing for the illustrators. They're gonna review this. And then, if you win, you win. And then they'll send you a letter. Actually, who calls them? Joni calls them, huh? And because
Yeah.
somebody told me she had to call me 4 times before I believed her. I was cracking up. I was like, really? He said, yeah, I didn't believe it first time. I thought it was a fake call. And then we talked. She called me again and we talked. And she said, I'm not believing it. On the 4th call, I think I finally started believing it. I was like, wow, Joni? He said, I just didn't believe it. I said, well, he said, I couldn't believe I won. I said, well, you did. So you having a great time? Oh, God, am I having a great time? And this is going to be experience they're going to carry their whole life. Y'all did a fabulous, and this will
Yeah.
be in these people's lives for the rest of their days. Which that's
Yeah,
something that hardly many people can give someone. It was such a good experience for them, and it's more than just a good experience. I mean, they all took something out of this learning wise. It was just everybody I talked to said, "No, I've learned so much while I've been here. There's so many things I didn't understand, and it's nice to see these judges how comfortable they are in their own skin." And so, of course, they are. I said, they've been around for a while. They've been through the ups and downs, and they understand it. And I said, that's why they're here to help you to maybe cut out some of those ups and downs. I said, honestly, if you listen to
Yeah.
these people, you're going to probably have less up and downs than they did. I said, because they're putting you in this position. They're helping you to understand a lot of the problems or a lot of things you need to know, and a lot of the techniques. So it was most interesting. And again, everybody came away with a great experience. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a starting writer and you feel like you need help, you can go over to galaxypress.com. I'm sorry, writersofthefutures.com and take the course. Well, no, you go over Galaxy Press if you want to get the book. Yes. If you want to get
Yeah. And feel free to get the book. I mean, the volume 37 actually officially releases on 2 November. So it's coming up right around the corner. You can pre-order it now and it'll ship out on the
yes,
2nd.
Amazon
But
informed me mine will be shipping soon. That's the
yeah.
and
yes.
so somebody named Joni sent me some. You better buy some books, buddy. I'm just teasing. That's what you did. I was just glad she sent it to me because I had nowhere to go, and she sent it took me right to Amazon. And it's easy to order them, guys. You run over to Amazon, order them. You can go over to Galaxy Press and order them. It's just. And before anybody asks, I'm going to give away 5 of these books this year, maybe 6 of the 37. I think I'm going to give away about 10 of the 36s. And now, on a side note, I've got a pamphlet, a guide to the event. That's what I had everybody sign, not the
Oh,
book. So there's only one of these people. This is it. There is no more of these anywhere but this one. Matter of fact, a couple of artists were like, well, this was a damn good idea. I said, yeah. I said, because there's only going to be one of these. This is a very collectible piece. So I'm not sure if we're going to give it away. Dan and a friend of mine are talking about putting some books in some bad schools in New Orleans and in Mississippi. Probably just, we're talking about only a handful of books, 400 or 500. And I said, so we might auction it. so y'all can help us put these books in the seat. So we'll see how
Nice.
things go. So this will be in January sometime because I've been talking to him. Well, I've been harassing him. Might be a better way of saying it. I said, look, man. I said, this is a great idea. I said, when I talked to Dory had a great idea of what they were doing in Alabama. I said, we can't be letting them Alabamians show us up, Jimmy. Come on, that's just not right. And he started laughing, and I said, I know you got as much money as God does. I said, so think about it. I said, we're only talking, a handful of books, maybe 100. I said, there's 10 schools that we're looking at. They're really, really in bad neighborhoods, and there's no real material of any kind in there to read. It's just whatever school books you got, and that's it. There's nothing else. You're not going to get any. There's nothing that stimulates your imagination. So I'm figuring, what can it hurt? I mean, if even one of these kids come out and start writing, or getting to something other than blowing up things, or robbing, stealing, pillaging, whatever it may be that they're doing out of these schools, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
So we talked. There's a couple of things we're talking about auctioning off in January. So we'll probably do that, and then him and I will probably take a little bit of money out of pocket and see where we end up. Well, guys and girls, you can donate. You can make a donation. You can go over to United Public Radio, use a donation. But listen, because we get donations for the station all the time. If you write a donation and it's for Writers of the Future, be sure you write Writers of the Future in there so we know the money goes to that. Okay, we're only looking at a couple $1,000 because it's not a lot of money. I mean, the books are, I forgot what they are, but they're not really expensive. I mean, they're fairly reasonably priced.
Yeah, that's $16.
Yeah, and because I'm getting ready to order, because I promised my winners who won these other books that I said I'm going to order the set before them because somebody was telling me there was a book in between they liked. And matter of fact, one of my good friends, Jason, has read almost all of y'all's anthologies, by the way.
Wow.
And he's like, yeah, I love this. This is fabulous, man. He said this helped me get through school. He was reading them when he was going to, he was in advanced science at Caltech. I mean, yeah, no, not at Caltech, at MIT. And he said, man, they helped me go to sleep at night. He said, because my brain would be all wired from school all day. And he said, I would just get lost. And he said, and the short stories were great. He said, because he said, when I read a novel, I'd get stuck and find myself reading emails in the morning. He said, with these, I read a story and I say, all right, I'm good. I'm relaxed now. It's not, 5 hours worth of reading. Oh God, I've read 4 books now, and I've gone through them, and they're good, guys. They're good stories. They're different stories. There's a lot of mixture of stories in there. It covers quite a few genres in the sci-fi, paranormal, area. So I hate lumping them like that because they kind of do cross a good basis of areas, like the group you had this year. I mean, there's a nice spread of I guess we're gonna have to use sci-fi, but it was a nice spread of genres in there that it crossed.
Yeah.
From going into space to things on Earth to like the Sixers, which is a whole different thing. And I'm not giving that away. Barbara and I talked about it quite a bit before the interview, so I want to read it myself. So I'm not going to give the story away. And it sounds like a very interesting story. So, and I'm always looking for something.
It's a great story, yeah.
And so she said, "You gonna buy the book?" I said, "Yeah." I think I already bought it. It's still, I said, but I promise I'll read it and see it. I told Leah I'll read her, so when I bring her back, I can talk to her about a story. And but yeah, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that it's free. Again, it's free. WritersOfTheFuture.com. Sign up. Go take the course, which is also free. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this again, and I know I've said this more times than I can count. The course is free. I know y'all write to me all the time. Oh, there's going to be a charge for something. No, there's charge for nothing. Nothing at all. Unless
they want to buy a book, that's minimal, but that's all. We're charging for the books.
Yeah, for the books. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. So
yeah.
But guys, go over there, take the course. I know Wolf over there does a lot of their blog and stuff. I know he's got a lot of good information. Him and I talk quite a bit. We had a lot of fun chit chat. He's a character in himself, so he's a lot of fun. He mentors people, so you might want to talk to him.
Now he works on the forum.
Yeah, the forum. I said the blog, didn't I?
That he runs. And one thing about the forum too, for people that are interested, is that it's also free to enter, but we also monitor it. So there's no hating on the forum. So if somebody comes in and is negative, they're given one warning. And then they do it again. They're out of there. They're banned from the forum. It's just we want to give people the positiveness.
No, Carol actually asked Wolf if that was true, and it was absolutely true. Yeah. You gotta understand. For me, guys, it's a difference. See, now that I've known John and Emily for a while now, I know they're telling the truth. But in the beginning, I was very skeptical. John will tell you, I was a pain in the ass skeptical. It's I can't help it. That's just who I am, and after talking to these guys for a few years, they really sold me on this, and from what I've seen myself. But after attending the event, look, I'm telling y'all now, these are the people. I know there's other places you can submit, but these are the people you want to submit to. I'm telling you now. It's not going to be an online thing. They're going to fly you out there. They're gonna take really good care of you, and and you're going to learn a lot of information. You may go back and be a famous artist or a famous publisher. Quite a few famous people are actually there while you're learning. Some of these writers and illustrators you're talking to are top of the line. You're not going to find you. Let me put it another way. In order to talk to the people that these winners get to talk to, you would pay tens of thousands of dollars. You get the information that you're going to get in that 7 days crammed into your head. You literally, if you went online and tried to do this, you would pay tens of thousands. You're just not going to get it. You're not going to be able to go directly to the judge and say, "Hey, not one who's got all these books to their credit," and say, "What about this? What about this? What about this?" That would cost you tons of money. See, these guys are there for this. They're going to talk to you. They're going to tell you. You're going to answer your questions. I did not see a judge there that was not approachable and would not answer a question. Not one, even for me. And you know how big a pain I am. So I'm just they were great. They were great people. None of them felt like they were being harassed when somebody came up. And I told every winner that I met the same thing. If you got a problem talking, come get me. I'll walk over and introduce you to them. I have no problem. They're like, "What?" I said, "No, that's what I'm here for." I said, but don't be scared. I said, "They're here to talk to y'all." Oh, I can't. Was it Powell? Was it what was it? Oh no. Oh yeah, because I got a great picture of him coming down the hallway. He looks like he's dancing with a Coke can. It's a great picture. And somebody was like, "Oh no, I can't talk to him. He's so far above me." I said, "Well, he is far above you, but you can talk to him." He's like, "No." I said, so he came by. He's going by. I said, "Let me get a picture of you like this." I said, "This gentleman wants to talk to you." I said, "Let me get another picture of you standing still." So I got a picture, and then they just went to talking, and I went on about my merry way. And it's kind of nice for them to have an in kind of a medium in between because I'm approachable by anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Then I tell them all there, and I introduced myself when I came in. I said, "No, if y'all need to talk to me, you want anything, just ask me." And again, Emily and John, y'all were fabulous. You both look. By the way, y'all both look great on the red carpet. You look like you belonged in. That's why the youngins were calling you a power couple, man, because that's what y'all look like strolling on down there. I was like, "Damn, look at him, man! Got to get back. They're giving off radiation and stuff." But everybody looked great. Uh, I want to give credit where credit's due, and really, I did not see anything there. And I look, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I look for anything to criticize them on. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I mean, part of my job is to see if everybody's telling me the truth, and I looked everywhere to see if I could criticize. There was nothing. And come on, guys, y'all know me. Anybody who's listened to me more than a year knows I'm pretty good at finding dirt on anybody. I mean, I've done this for years, and there was nothing to be had. It was just like there was. So again, y'all know I'm going to be pushing them all year long now. So I'm just warning y'all ahead of time.
You gonna
But I
come
was,
out in April for the next one?
oh yeah, I'm ready. I did tell John this time I'm bring a little bit more equipment with me because I would
Yeah.
like to record. I would like to record the judges' events, not so much just for prosperity more than anything, but a couple of the youngins had asked me about it, and I said, "Well, no, I don't think they're recording it because I don't think I think some of them were worried they weren't absorbing all of the knowledge." And then I noticed with the artists in the room we were using downstairs, I said, the room y'all were using downstairs, um, they should have had something to maybe a mic or something. It was too quiet in the back.
Mm.
Yeah, I
And
noticed that too.
and the reason I realized that is I was sitting up there waiting for the class to end so I could introduce myself, and I seen 4 or 5 people playing video, which means they couldn't hear him because I was having a hard time hearing. Of course, he also talks a little softer than some of the other judges, but I noticed 4 or 5 of them, and it was a little bit quieter. So we bring some equipment that won't be an issue, and then y'all can always put this stuff on a private site somewhere on a page so that they can re-access it because I don't
Right.
necessarily think it needs to be on your website per se or anybody's website because it's a lot of information. But it would be nice for them to be able to go back, and you could actually even make it part of your classes or courses down the line. You can sift through it because you're going to know far more of what's in there than I am. I can listen to it all day
Yeah.
and learn stuff, but you're really going to understand it more than I am. So, no, Pete, I know when I'm over my head, friend. Let me tell you when I'm not an author. I wish I was, but I'm not. Even Emily keeps talking me into right. Okay, before we move on to the next segment of the show, I've gotten 3/4 of the way through the course like 4 times now, or 3.5 times, we'll say. And I've gotten 26 pages written, 28 pages written.
Do
So,
it, Joe.
yeah, so maybe like 41 or 42 I'll get to submit. And no, I'm not. What do you mean? I'm putting a pin name. I'm not letting Emily and John see that. You got to be kidding me, man. No telling what that stuff's gonna be like.
The stories don't even come to us. Like when we say it's blind judging, it's like for real. It comes
it
in the
is.
system. And the moment the person hits enter, it goes into this folder where the judging happens and the name and everything gets disappears. So even if John and I were to like go in there and look at the story, we would just see a number in the story.
There we go. Who's this jibber jabber from? That's gotta be from Joe. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. But a lot of
But
people.
yeah, we don't see the stories until actually the judges, and that's one thing people have to know too is that the winners are who the best in the industry say are the best. So it's not us. It's not like
too.
Yeah, we don't do any of the judging or selecting or
No.
vetting or anything. Like we John and I don't see the stories until all of them have been selected for the year, and that's when we actually start seeing the stories.
That's when y'all get to
yeah. And
Filipino.
the stories too are also are good for middle school on up. So it's a certain type of story too. We don't do there's no porn in there. There's no super graphic violence in there. So it's going to be appropriate for middle school on up.
And by the way, that's fabulous that y'all actually do that because it actually helps the writer to use more of their imagination. Because you can throw in and kind of blow it up, kill them stuff in there, or sex sells everything. So it's none of that, I agree with you. None of that needs to be in there. I think y'all do a fabulous job. No, actually, Filipina, I talked to the judges, sweetie, and I asked them if it was blind judging. You guess what they told me? Yes, it is. Oh no, every one of them.
Yeah.
I phrased the question different for everybody. I even backed a few of them in the corner and said, "Are you sure this is you're not getting some ching chang for that?" No, they're not. It's exactly what it appears to be. I know you. Okay.
Sometimes a judge will recognize an artist or a writer, and they'll recuse themselves.
Yeah, we had that once with Brandon Sanderson, where he started judging the one of the quarterly finalists, and he said, he said, I can't judge this quarter because I recognize the story because it's from a student of mine. So he had to pull out and we had to get somebody else to judge that quarter because so he had to step down for that reason. So we have a good group of judges that are they're there
integrity is in on the contest.
Yeah, all the ones I'm at seem to be legit and exactly what they say they are. So, and remember, guys and girls, these aren't first time story writers or I got my first novel that. I mean, what did Dean tell me? 240 books to his credit. I mean, that's crazy. I think Todd said he had 65, but we were going. These are authors who write, make a living at it, and make a good living at it.
150, 160 novels. Yeah.
So I mean, these are not playtime people. These are people who can actually help your career along. So that's another reason to submit because if you win, and remember the way the course is designed is to help you to do that. And if you win, you're going to get to meet these people. Yes. So let me put it another way. So you can go see what all the judges that were there, and then now you can write to them and see how many of them write you back. That's not if you're not a part of Writers of the Future. I'm just saying they're busy people, and they're writing their own books and they got their own work. So this is a place where they take their time and dedicate it to the winners.
Yeah.
Yes. These are, like I said, these are all these writers and illustrators are pretty well known, or actually like what some of them are very well known. And they're taking their time to talk to you about how to make your illustrations or your stories better. And, I mean, I don't even know where you're going to get that for free, people. I got to be honest. I mean, most courses I see online are anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, and it's usually one author that's doing it. Not. I mean, this is a ridiculous amount of people you get to meet. And then, of course, you get to meet the Goodwins, which is worth the trip in itself. So y'all should win just for that reason. Just watching them run around is worth it, man. And somebody said, "Who was it?" I was doing a little mini remote, and somebody said, "Who was that?" I said it was Emily. Went by and John went by. I said, "They don't stop for 5 minutes, man. They're like, shoo, 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 shoo." I said, "It's just like a chicken with a head cut off. Wait, where'd she go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Here you go." I said, "I would not even try to keep track of them." I said, "They'd be running all day." I said, all the judges were like that. Everybody was moving around. Everybody knew where each other was. I liked the way the classes were run. They were comfortable. It made you feel comfortable while you're in there. I liked the way they were laid out so people could spread themselves out and feel comfortable while they were sitting there listening. And again, people, I actually learned some stuff from this. Yes, I sat into 5 or 6. I missed the first 2 days because I wasn't there, but I sat into several classes after that. And every class I sat into I actually learned something. Of course, I'm a rookie. Remember that. So, but for y'all, I mean, if I can learn something, y'all can learn something. And And again, all the judges were very approachable. All of them.
Those workshops are super exclusive.
They are.
I'm surprised they let you in there, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been John like opened the door for you. You got
No,
to
I
win the
snuck in there.
contest usually to get in those
I
workshops.
snuck in
Yeah,
there,
you
man.
snuck in.
I snuck in there. I was like, watch me slip into the back of the class. I didn't even know I'm in here. And actually, no, I asked a question in one of them. I was like, wait, go back. I need you to say that again. But
And the
they
judge
asked
said, "Which story was yours?"
pretty much. And I said, well, I don't have a story. And he kind of looked at me and he just went on and answered the question. Oh no, that's what I said. No, I said no. I'm just here for press, but I was curious, and yeah, that was the standard answer I gave him. I said I'm just here for press, people. I'm not here to bother anybody. And sometimes they look at you press, and then something like, oh, okay. It was kind of a love hate kind of thing, but it was a great thing. And no, I think I sat through. I know I sat through
Nice.
two of the R's because I was filming the day they had the models down there, the two girls that they had the
Oh yeah, the
sword with. Yeah,
salon.
and that was the first time I
Yeah.
met Eco, and she was posing. I was taking. I said, "Well, what do we need him for? We got you, baby. Hold on, pose to the left, pose to the right," because she was showing the girl how she wanted to pose. And while she was doing it, of course, I
Oh,
snapped
nice.
pictures. And I said, "Oh, I got some good information." And then after that, we hit it off pretty good, and we talked quite a bit. And she introduced me to a couple other people. But it was nice the way everybody was milling around, handling each other, being nice, and again, everybody was very approachable, not just for me, but for everybody. And
Yeah.
because when somebody said, "Well, why don't you wear a press badge?" I said, "Because I want to scare you people." I said, I just want you to know I'm here. That's like, don't need no press badge, people. Y'all getting all nervous then. I know one of the guys at the hotel got nervous when he said, "You're press." I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You're not here for the hotel." I'm like, "No, I'm not here for the hotel." I just
Oh,
started laughing. I said, "No, I'm here because the Writer of the Futures is here." But Glenda, what was your question? Oh no, I can answer. It's free. No, it's free. No, it's free. No, the course is free. The submission is free. The judging is free, and it's all anonymous. Yes. No, they're telling the truth. I was there. They're telling the truth. I know it's hard to believe, but it's because matter of fact, Glenda was telling me a couple of weeks ago about a
I mean,
company. I'm not
it is
going.
a lot of money.
Oh, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money that's spent on this thing, but it's all funded from L. Ron Hubbard from his estate. He set up in 1983 when he created it. He passed away in 1986, and in his will, he put in there that his estate would continue to fund this contest. So that's where it comes from. And he remains one of the highest paid authors still today, even though he passed away in 1986. So that's 25 years. So he's still one of the highest paid authors. So that's what it's the royalties that pays for it.
People, y'all need to win. That's all I'm telling you. You need to submit and to win. I would look. I'm telling everyone who's going to hear this in the future and when it's archived, submit. Again, the worst thing that will happen is they will tell you submit again later or submit again next time.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that's going to happen. And I actually asked the judges about feedback, and they said only if you hit like honorable mention or something will we give you feedback. Other than that, they said they would just tell you to submit again. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, none of these people were rude, nasty, or mean. We're talking about fairly famous people here that have big books and big things to their credit. And they were very approachable. They weren't snotty, and there was no big egos in the way. Actually, I probably had the biggest ego in the place. So that tells you something right there. No. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, well, maybe Dean and I might be close, but everybody and Tom, Dean and I and Tom might all have big egos, but the rest, everybody was very, very well mild mannered people, and it's rare to see that when they're as famous as they are, or they have as much credit work that they have. When you hear you're great enough times, it tends to give you an ego. And I'm sure a lot of these people we're talking about have heard this many times in their careers. And still, they were approachable, nice, went out of their way to work with the students. I shouldn't say students, but to work with the winners. And that was amazingly surprising to me. I was sitting in one of the writers' class, and I know these two guys were driving this guy crazy because they were just asking question after question. He was polite. He was pointed. He helped them out, walked them through it, came and got in front of the table and helped them through it even more. You can't ask for better, guys. You just can't. And I'm telling you now, they don't slouch on the thing. It was a great hotel, great gala, the whole thing. I'm telling you, they spent a lot of money. I'm not going to get into how much they spent, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely in the six figures, and it's a lot. And that's all I'm going to tell y'all. But they fly everybody out there. Come on, people. They're flying you out there on their ticket. And They're putting you up in the hotel on their ticket. They were even feeding them because Joni asked me. She goes, "You're not charging any food, GPS?" And y'all flew me out here and got me in a hotel. And I said, "I eat a lot. You don't need to know how much I eat." She started laughing.
Well,
And I said,
we cover some of the meals for the winners, like we have a barbecue and with the gala
"Yeah,
awards and stuff. But for the most part, they do cover their food when they come
well,
out.
that's good because a lot of them boys could eat. I can tell you, like me,
Yeah.
I could eat." I said, we were laughing. I bought somebody breakfast. I said, no, we can all eat. I said, we all big boys. We eat a lot. And, but I had a great time. I really did. I mean, but I
I'm
did
so
tell, what
glad
is
that you
it?
made it.
Huh?
I'm
Wait, say
so
that
glad
again.
that you made it out to the event.
Oh, I was so glad y'all brought me out. What are you talking? I just, I was talking to somebody the other day, one of my friends that works for the local library at Tulane. And I said, dude, you need to include these books in your collection. I said, if they're not in here, I said, I'll tell you what. I said, why don't you find out what you have and you don't have? And I said, I'll get you the rest. I said, I'll buy them myself and y'all can put them in here. Tulane is a huge library. It's Tulane College and it's an Ivy League
Yeah.
college. And I said, he said, well, we might have some. I said, well, send me a thing and tell me which ones you have and you don't have. And I said, you can make them part of your Linden library. He said, well, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, just, I said, you got my phone number because I was doing some promotion for them for donations and stuff for their football team and something else they had going on. And we got to talking about it. He said, because we got to talking about the different libraries around the city and how nice some of them were. Tulane is not like a typical library. It has a lot of artwork in it. It has a lot of maps of the city. I guess it's a library, but it encompasses way more than just books. And
Nice.
it's a great place. When I was a kid, I used to go hang out there. I mean, if you had an imagination, you could get lost in this place. It was all glassed in. It was 4 stories. It's probably a good 400,000 or 500,000 square feet. And it's even for an Ivy League. I guess they need to have a good library on it. So anyway,
Yeah.
him and I were talking about it. I said, well, just tell me what you got and you don't got. And I know he said he had 1 through 12. He wasn't sure about the rest. I said, well, just write to me and tell me. So I'm getting ready to make another order with him because I got some stuff I'm giving away for the holidays. I said, so he said, well, give them to us. I said, no, I still got to give them away for the holidays. I said, I got people expecting to see books. I said, we don't want to start no war. I mean, last year we gave away 575. So I'm going to try to give
Wow,
away a
that's
thousand
great.
books. I'm going to try to give away 1,000 books this year. Well, we have a lot of publishers that send us stuff, usually books that they're trying to get, out into mainstream somehow or another. So they'll send us a lot of books that way. And then Books a Million and Barnes and Nobles actually donates usually 100 books each a year. I don't. I
Wow.
Nice.
never know what they're going to be. They just send them to us. And last year it was. How can I say this? It was all girly stories from Barnes and Noble last year. It was just.
Hmm.
It might not be the correct way to say it, but let's just say it's stuff my wife would read and I wouldn't. And that's the only way I could say it
Oh,
without
good.
getting myself into too much trouble. Marsha, the Goodwins are there. They're crazy running around while they're there. They're working their asses off nonstop. And like I said, they made sure everybody was being taken care of, and what they weren't handling, somebody else was. I mean, there were so many people involved in this, and so many people being nice. And then, of course, there was a great few of us around there taking pictures nonstop. I would mention her name, but I can never say it. So it's
Maliva.
Maliva, Miss Picture
Maliva.
Taker. Her and I went in a picture taking frenzy. Is what we did, but I got a lot of pictures of her too. So we had a lot of fun, and everybody there was just out of this stuff. Maliva and Sarah just kind of walked me around, kept me from losing my mind, and keep me in certain places. They were both great for that. Kelsey showed me some stuff, where it was and things like that too. I think she's scared for me to interview this. I told her last time when she wrote me, I said, Chelsea, I don't bite unless I'm asked. And I promise you it'll be a soft, quiet interview because I think I make her nervous. Just,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Some people I just make nervous. It's just one of them things. And somebody asked me about Emily's first. I said, Emily will kick my ass. What are you talking about? She's a Canadian girl. She ain't worried about me. And the Reds told me to tell you hi, and they love y'all and
Oh,
stuff like
good.
that.
Oh, good.
So I
Yeah, I want
told
to get
them
them back
to.
on again. I want to get back onto the podcast again. I
Yeah.
had one of the people at the office said that was their favorite interview was with them, so they
Oh
want me
yeah,
to.
they're great. She's doing. I call her Canadian Elvira these days. So she's out actually doing stuff for Halloween today. Or she would have joined us. And Amelia's great. They're both a lot of fun. We're talking about the Outer Realm people. If y'all don't know who we're talking about, but no, John's podcast is on Monday, but I'm going to move it because he hooked me up so good. So I'm gonna hook him up, and I'm gonna move him probably to Wednesday night, which is going to give somebody a heart attack. But either Wednesday or Thursday. So it's gonna be a big change from you because Tuesday's 200,000 or 300,000. I'm gonna be expecting a million five on Wednesday or Thursday. So just giving you a
Wow.
heads up while we're on the air. Well, because if when I leave, I usually leave the girls sitting at around 2.5 million, and then they go from there. So when they leave, there's always between 1.8 and 2.5 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So it puts you in a nice position. I know you have a good solid voice. You look good when you. Oh, we got to get you on cam, don't we? I was
Yeah.
thinking about that, watching you run around. You looking good, man. You should be on video. That's good. And everybody. Oh, and that's another thing. So I was talking with some people. We had a bunch of station guys were hanging out. We were prepping. We have a Halloween party coming up, and we were all talking. And I had the video running in the background, and a bunch of ladies said, "Well, who's that?" I said, "That's John." I said, "He's not the presenter. He's just the boss. He's letting y'all know what's going on." I said, "Joni's the presenter, and Joan's the presenter." And he's like, "Well, he's looking good." And first thing come out of Ellen's mouth, "Is he married?" I said, "Yes, very." He said, "You sure you know his wife?" I said, "Yeah, I know his wife, and she will kick your ass." So I'm just warning you ahead of time, man. I said, she got some kung fu going up there. Y'all better not be thinking that. But no, I mean they were like everybody thought John like something about I don't know, John. You just were how can I say this? Presenting authority, chest out, head up, good straight look, clean cut all the way down. Yeah, I noticed stuff like that. Believe it or not, I actually do notice stuff like that. I was raised by a house full of women. That's why. I noticed everything, and you looked good. And apparently, the ladies, well, gentlemen thought you looked good too because we were talking about it. He said, "Yeah, he looks good. He looks like a great presenter." Huh? That's well, of course he is. He's the guy that's up to. I'm here. This is how it's going to be. And I said, and they asked me why come we didn't see Emily. I said because Emily was probably grateful she was done. she's like, I get a little rest for a little while, have a little filet, and chill out for a little
Someone has
bit.
to be in the back making sure everything else comes off.
Well, no, that's the truth. Somebody has to be there. Has to be somebody in control and in charge.
So I
And
always say, I run around and then John's a pretty face.
yes, that's true. You are the pretty one in this. See, in the old days, it would have been you running around. Emily would have been the pretty face. But you see how the world has changed now. Yes, John's the pretty face now. Yeah. He's got a great looking office too, by the way, guys. It was just, I mean, again, I got to say it one more time. It was just an absolute fabulous time. Anything you want to add? I know we're getting short on time, but
Yeah.
again, writersatfutures.com. Don't forget galaxypress.com. If you want to get a book, galaxypress.com. If you want to
Yeah. This is what it looks
subscribe,
like.
yes.
The latest volume.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
oh, I ain't got that one yet. I ain't got none. Shit, I just
No, that
realized
one
that.
hasn't. That one's releasing on the 2nd of
Oh,
November.
but you were you
Writers
didn't get the book with you. You left it when you left.
no, I don't know how I did that either. So one of the girls came up to me. One of the winners came up and said, "Here, hold on. These two it was 36 and 37. They've been all autographed." And we got to talking. I think I left the damn thing sitting on the table. I was like, because I didn't think about it until I started packing, and I was like, wait, I had two books. What the hell? I'm almost positive. I started running my mouth and left them sitting on the table. I was hot when I realized that.
at the
And
venue.
yeah, when we did the reveal, when we did the signing,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody had given me two. Said, "Hang on, these two. These are for you." I don't even remember who it was. And I got oh, that's what it was. I set them aside because it's helping Sarah, and then I just forgot. I just walked off and forgot.
Yeah. We'll get it.
Um,
We'll get a set send them to
yeah.
you.
and
See if
so
Sarah has them.
yes, Miss
But
Sarah,
for anybody who
she
likes
had to
science
quit.
fiction and fantasy, these are amazing books. I know we've been talking about it, but just since this is the close now of our show here, if it's like all times of science fiction, fantasy, and it's guaranteed to have something for everybody. We had a really good blurb that we got from Midwest Book Review, which is a major library review service. It says, Writers of the Future is the gold standard of emerging talent into the field of science fiction fantasy that has contributed more to the genre than any other source. And we've gotten that several places, but this just came
I
in on
agree.
volume 36 review. And it's true. It's just like Brandon Sanderson says, it really does help the best rise to the top. You were talking about Dan Dos Santos. The Illustrators of the Future is an amazing compass for what the art industry holds in store for all of us. And that's what it is, So
Oh, look, people. It is emerging talent. They got great stories. Now I haven't read 36 or 37 yet, but so I'm going to get into them soon. Oh no, I can't get in 36. I gave the damn thing away. Anyway, I'll get one. I'll get another one. But
We'll send it to you, the signed ones.
yeah, yes, yeah. Well, I'll get those out now. Before y'all know, people, I'm not giving those away. I know y'all think that might get in the auction, but some things aren't going to make it to the auction. Like that picture behind me, it's not going anywhere. Carol, first thing when they heard about the auction, oh, how about the picture? What picture? And I said, the picture, the picture from Battlefield Earth. I said, what the hell are you talking about? She said, the one that's behind you all the time. I said, oh, no, no, no. It's not going to auction. Forget it. I said,
Mhm.
actually, it's fixing to move to another wall because we're redoing the studio. And they're like, oh, come on, come on. I was like, no. And then two people, how about the pad? I said, no, I need the pad. I said, I read half of Mission Earth. Well, I shouldn't say half. I read about a third of Mission Earth going back and forth. I didn't read it. I listened to it going back and forth on the flight. And then who was it? Like I said, yeah, this is garbage. I can't have nothing to do with this. Matter of fact, the guy that was sitting by the window, he was listening to it. I guess you could hear it through my headphones. And he said, "Man, that's a great story. Can I hear?" I said, "Oh, it's not out yet." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "It hasn't been re-released yet. You got to wait. John threatened to kill me if it got out." So I said, when it gets out, yeah. I said, but I told him where to go. I said, writersofthefuture.com. I said, there you go. I mean, I gave both the addresses, but
Yeah.
galaxypress.com and too. Well, no, people I always flip flop them, but Writers of the Future is where you submit and where you go to get in a course. Galaxy Press is where you go to look through the inventory of books they have.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
yes, and John, yeah, they're a
And
publishing company.
you can also get the new Writers of the Future book or the earlier volumes on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or any independent bookstore. But you can go out and support the new authors and get your copy of the book. And it's release week, so it's a good time to get it.
Yeah,
And
we're really
remember,
hoping to
people,
make a national bestseller for them so that they're able to say, yes, I'm a national bestselling author. We've done it since volume 31, since we
Yeah.
came out with this new format of the trade paperbacks. Every year we have a national bestseller.
so remember, people, we're only like 55 days from Christmas now, 7 weeks at the most. These are great presents, but you need to order them now. Well, no, this isn't being held up by China, idiot. Why did you even say that? No, they're not on the boats in the ocean either. Calm down, people. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. We've been getting a lot of that lately. We were giving them some stuff when they said, do we have to wait for it to get off the boat? I'm like, what boat? And he said, the ones off the coast of California. I said, no, no, no. We wouldn't be giving it away if you had to wait. Um, I do have one or two coming in on the second or the third. I know that's when they release, and Amazon keeps telling me they'll be there overnight.
Yeah.
So when they get in, people, I'm going to give those away. I'm going to probably order about another 5. Well, there's one set I want to buy that was before the set I gave away, and then I want to give away a couple of the 37s and a couple of 36s during Christmas. So anyway, we'll probably give away 30 or 40 of these books all together. And so I want y'all just to know when to call in and give them away. It's great stuff during the holidays to give away, so y'all can give them to your friends and family or whoever you want to give them to. Give them as gifts. We're going to be giving a lot of other books away as well. I know we got a lot of sci-fi stuff coming in this year. We got a lot of criminal stuff coming in this year too. Somebody's donating 250 Law and Order books, which I'm not a big fan
Wow.
of, but hey, y'all might be. I'm just not the hugest fan of that kind of stuff. Sci-fi, I'm a freak over, so all of this stuff. And remember, when you go to galaxypress.com, you can find them in audiobooks.
Mhm.
So Johnny had them send me an audio pad. This thing is fabulous, by the way, people. This is what you should go buy. It's got everything on it, both in audio, so you can read and you can listen. And no, I'm not putting it up for auction either. Um, but you can go buy one for yourself. Just go over to Galaxy Press, buy one, give it to your kids. Look, because they got different ranges and different prices and different sizes. So find something that fits your family and buy that one. That's the best way I can tell you. No, the one I got's got all kind of stuff on it, and I'll be 10 years going through this pad. Just that's why y'all not getting your hands on it. My business partner asked because he's a crazy reader, and he said, "Can I have it?" I'm like, "No." Well, when you're through, I said, "Sam, by the time I'm through it, you'll be like 70. You won't even be able to read anymore."
Wow.
He's like. I said, "That's just a
Well,
lot of material."
We
Okay.
can buy one himself.
That's what I told him. Go buy one yourself, you cheap sucker. He makes as much money as I do. He can afford it. Yeah, he's telling me, well, I'm saving up to build a new house. I'm like, whatever. I said, you like to read? I said, actually, for him, it'd be even better on audio because when he likes to sieve out sometimes on this game. So he could
There
be
you go.
listening. He could be listening to the audio book while he's playing the game, and
Yeah.
have a blast. I do that. Well, I don't get the game anymore, but the audiobook's always with me. It travels with me. It goes with me. I listen to a lot of material on there. I think I've listened to about 12 stories so far and read 2. And I actually started reading a story on a trip the other day because I wasn't driving, which was nice. But you got both in there. And all I can tell you is it's all L. Ron Hubbard's material. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Some of the stuff is quite funny, by the way, but there's a lot of serious sci-fi in there. Don't get me wrong, but there's some lighthearted sci-fi as well. But it's a different bunch of genres. It's just not all space
There's
sci-fi.
westerns, mystery,
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, so
All
go
that
check it
stuff.
out. I'm telling y'all, you're going to enjoy it. Well, I asked this to John one time because I know L. Ron Hubbard started writing westerns, and so did Gene Roddenberry. I was wondering
Hmm.
if he influenced Gene because he was actually before Gene. So I was wondering if he may influence Gene to start writing um, westerns, and then Gene got out of westerns and got into sci-fi. So I mean, we don't know people; it's just speculation, but you never can tell. Again, I know I got to let these guys go because they got to go party down and like rock stars that they are. But I'm telling you, people, no, I agree
In
with them.
quarantine, we're gonna party in quarantine here.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah, they deliver, they deliver. I think they deliver. I don't know. Oh no. Anyway, guys and girls, one more time, I'm going to say this again. Be sure to go over to Galaxy Press, and if you want to get a copy, if you want to get one of the audiobooks, that's where to get it. If you want to join or become part of this, or write or take the courses, writersofthefuture.com is the place to go. Yes, I know all their websites by heart. It's Writers of the Future is the place to go. I'm just telling you. You know what, Denise? I'll tell you what I'll do with you. You and I can write it together, and you can submit it under a pen name. Well, I can give you the material I got. I can't write, so but I can help you with the material, and then you can submit it. So she wants to submit a thing about someone going through an alien abduction. Yeah, that's good. I'm sure if it's good and scary enough, then maybe they'll do it.
Yeah.
Remember. Before I've said this before, I have no pull, so don't look at me to help y'all out. It doesn't have nothing because my son said, "Well, if I submit him," I said no. I said, "Be sure you put Joseph too." I said, "I don't want them thinking it was me." But no. I said it's all blind judge, son. I said, so just send it in, and I'm trying to push him to get one of him and his girlfriend. So on
Yeah.
that note, guys and girls, I know we got to get anything else you want to say before we get out of here, and
No, thank you very much. It's been great
It was
talking to you
great,
as
great to
usual.
meet you in person finally when you were out here in
this,
LA. Good talking to
yes,
you again.
the emperor and the empress. That's what we have going on here, guys and girls. By the way, no, really and truly, I mean, y'all did a great job. I can't stress across, and I'll be talking about it a lot because for me being from this other side and walking into this, I mean, everybody was fab. Every staff member I bet on every side was just fabulous, and everybody seemed to really be enjoying themselves. And the judges seemed to be very, very, very approachable. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to really do this as a career, this is the place to go. If you can win one of these and get in to meet these judges, you've got a big step on becoming a really good author or a really good illustrator. And
Yep.
and I got to say, some of the illustration work I seen by some of the teachers was just stunning. So go check it out. Well, I haven't had a chance to read 37 and 36 yet, so I'll let y'all know after I read them. But just from the people I met, I have no doubt that the work's going to be great. Yeah, I really do. And anyway, we got to get out of here because we got shows coming up in a few minutes. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio. This will be featured on on all of our YouTube pages and, of course, on all the regular of our pages. For all 1.775 that tuned in tonight, I want to thank y'all. And yes, I know Gray Zone will be back starting next Saturday. So we'll be back to our normal routine with Michelle and I. And you know how she beats me up all the time. She's such a, woo. She's mean, man. Y'all Canadian women are tough. See, look at that face Emily's giving you. See, I will smack you hard. You say anything about us Canadians. Anyway, guys and girls, thanks again for tuning in to United Public Radio, and we'll see all y'all next week. Until then, you can catch John on Monday, and I'll see y'all on Monday as well. It's good night and stay tuned. Do 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 do
Good night.
do.